Advent founder, Dr. Madan Kandula.
If you were formerly breathing properly and we just plugged your nose up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it for a few minutes. You're not going to like it for an hour. You wouldn't stand it for a day. If we're talking weeks, you're going to be clawing at the walls to get that thing off. And if we're talking months to years to decades, many of our patients are basically walking around with clothespins on their nose and they don't know any difference. They've never experienced what life is supposed to be like when you breathe properly, and so for them, they feel like it's normal. It should be no surprise that many of the folks that we treat have downstream conditions. So if somebody's nose isn't working properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. adventknows.com.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Monday, June 5th. Our top story, F-16s scramble to stop an unresponsive jet near the nation's capital.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A 1-year-old girl becomes the 10th child killed in Milwaukee this year.
I'm Brandon Snide. Make it 3 in a row for the crew.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Starting off with a little bit of action. We got a broken down vehicle on 41 northbound right at the end of the Watertown Plank Road on-ramp, and that's partially blocking the right lane. So volume is relatively light. It's not really seeing any delays with this, but just something to keep in mind if you're going to be driving through that area within the next half hour, 45 minutes. For the most part, the rest of the system looking just fine. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast from meteorologist Brendan Johnson today. Mix of sun and clouds with a slight chance of a much-needed shower. High of 85 degrees inland, 77 at the lake. Slight chance of the shower lingers tonight under mostly cloudy skies and a low down to 60. Right now it's 61 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, no survivors after wayward jet plane crashed. It caused a military jet alert around Washington, D.C. before crashing in Virginia.
I'm Tom Foti. Following an air and ground search in mountainous terrain near Montebello, Virginia, responders reached the site of the small plane crash on foot. They found no survivors. This was about 5 hours after a military intercepted the Cessna business plane as it mysteriously flew in restricted airspace here in the capital region following an unplanned turn over New York's Long Island. The supersonic military catch-up caused a loud sonic boom heard throughout much of this area with no sign of a response from the pilot of the small plane as it flew on to rural Virginia where it crashed. Tom Foti, CBS News, Washington.
Here at home, the bus rapid transit line is now in operation. The east-west line on Wisconsin Avenue connecting the regional medical complex in Wauwatosa to the Milwaukee lakefront started up on Sunday. It's called Connect One, and it's not just for locals. This couple from Washington State among those on the inaugural ride.
I heard it on Reddit. She heard it on Reddit, so just following her lead, and then we came out down this way. So I think Google kind of led us down this way, so we're like, cool, straight path to the venue that we're going to.
The electric bus currently free to ride for passengers. A special ribbon-cutting ceremony with many dignitaries on hand will take place later today.
Search still on for a suspect believed to have shot and killed a 1-year-old child in Milwaukee, the 10th murder of a child in the city so far this year. Police said it happened Saturday night, 19th and Atkinson. The child was shot inside a vehicle by a known suspect during an argument among adults. Child identified as Zaire Nevels.
A triple shooting at a Mount Pleasant convenience store over the weekend. Mount Pleasant police say 3 people shot near 22nd and Meade. 1 person treated at a hospital, 2 others at Freighter for serious injuries. Police investigating that shooting as an attempted homicide.
Minor league soccer might not be coming to Wisconsin anytime soon. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting a proposal to provide state funds to help pay for downtown Milwaukee Stadium in what would be called the Iron District is dead. State legislature's Joint Finance Committee rejected Governor Evers' proposal to include just over $9 million for the $45 million stadium, and that would have been in the state budget. Kasmeric Enterprises wants to bring a soccer team to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee Pro Soccer LLC just a few weeks ago launched a contest for the public to vote on potential team names.
The 2024 race for Republican presidential nomination is going to heat up this week with several high-profile GOP names expected to make their big announcements. ABC's Rhiannon Ally.
Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is expected to announce he's running for president tomorrow, followed by a similar announcement by former Vice President Mike Pence on Wednesday. Nearly every Republican running for president spending the weekend in Iowa, appearing at a rally at the state fairgrounds near Des Moines.
Former President Donald Trump, the leading Republican presidential candidate, was not on hand for those events over the weekend after spending 2 days in Iowa last week.
U.S. officials faced with another dangerously close call this weekend for the Chinese military after one of their warships swerved just 150 yards in front of an American and Canadian ship, forcing the two ships to narrowly avoid collision, what the administration is calling an aggressive act. ABC's Lindsay Watts has more.
Estimates are the Chinese ship was just 150 yards from the U.S. destroyer. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin warning China's government.
Do the right things to rein in that kind of conduct, because I think accidents can happen that could cause things to spiral out of control.
China's defense minister is defending its warship, telling the U.S. to, quote, mind your own business.
Coming up, a warning from national park officials that you wouldn't expect to be needed.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 5:05.
We see some patients who come in and they have been in just so much pain for so long that they are just deflated.
But that's about to change because QC Kinetics provides hope for relief using all new regenerative treatments that concentrate your body's own healing properties into aching hips, back, shoulders, and knees. And Dr. Zuckerman, a medical director at QC Kinetics, loves watching the patient transformations.
One of the most amazing things is when I get to see a patient who, after a few months of our treatments, is just a completely different person. They are smiling and happy, and the weight of the world is off their shoulders because we were able to take away their pain.
And that's with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
It's just amazing to be able to change people's lives like that. It's very gratifying.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
I'm certified financial planner Tony Drake with Drake & Associates. If you're retired or looking to retire soon, have you developed a strategy to minimize or eliminate the taxes when you start pulling money out of your IRA or 401k? If you haven't, then you have a very vulnerable plan because taxes are going up in the future. And if you look at the spending our government does, taxes could rise even more. Find out what's missing in your retirement strategy by requesting a copy of my Retirement Ready Toolkit that's loaded with materials designed to help protect you from taxes. Call or text TAX to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting TAX to 414-409-9982 to get your free toolkit today.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Off Mosquito Repellent, a clean feel so you can accessorize without mosquitoes. You can wear classic whites and jeans and know what you're covered with 8 hours of not sticky, fragrance-free protection. S.C. Johnson.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 5:07.
Haven't said this for a while. The Brewers go for a sweep in Cincy. Brandon Sneid has sports at 5:15.
Park rangers at Yellowstone are issuing a new warning for visitors to respect the natural residents. This after a slew of close encounters put both humans and animals at serious risk. More from ABC's Derek Dennis.
Park officials say there's been a series of frightening close encounters at Yellowstone. Last month, a man from Hawaii charged with intentionally disturbing wildlife after handling a newborn bison. Also surfacing online, a bison charging at a family. The father gored, trying to save his son. A statement from Yellowstone says some actions by visitors have led to the endangerment of people and wildlife and resulted in the death of wildlife.
Yeah, there's also a video of a woman trying to take a selfie. She's like literally standing right by the head of this bison that was laying down.
The thing is huge.
She's trying to take a selfie with that, and then going back to that guy who was trying to help the calf get across a river for some reason. I mean, having been to some of these national parks, I get it. You can get up nice and close, but You can't do that because when he actually touched the animal, then the bison did not want, they rejected that baby because it smelled like humans and they had to euthanize the things.
Right. You got to, if you're there, you got to let nature still be nature.
Please.
It's found a way without you so
Yes.
far. Yes.
So here's the warning. Stay away from the bison.
In Britain, a phone hacking trial involving Prince Harry is back in court today.
As early as tomorrow, Prince Harry is expected to become the first British royal in modern times to testify in a court of law.
It's extraordinary.
Former tabloid editor David Yellen.
It's something that most senior members of the royal family have strived to get nowhere near.
And for good reason. Harry likely faces some brutal cross-examination, but he's determined to fight back against a tabloid he insists illegally hacked his phone. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
It's an even bigger opening than expected for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
There's an elite crew with all the best spider people in it.
It's a $120.5 million domestic debut for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That's more than $30 million more than the top pre-release estimate for the animated sequel, the second biggest opening of the year after the Super Mario Brothers movie, and 3.5 times the 2018 original's opening gross. The live-action The Little Mermaid remake slips to second in week 2, with the horror flick The Boogeyman opening in third. Christopher Watson, ABC News.
Now this is animated, right?
The new Spider-Man, yeah. So I'll probably take the kiddos to that. They love the first one.
Yeah?
I think of all the Spider-Man movies, this is my favorite one. Not the one that's out right now, but the first one.
All right.
Just different, more cartoony, comic booky.
If that's what you want. 5:10.
Comic booky.
On Wisconsin's morning news. Boy, I almost cost you a whole day.
Inflation isn't going away anytime soon. As the cost of everything from food to vacations to your electric bill rises, you may wonder if your retirement plans are still on track. Annex Wealth Management can help. It starts at annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button. From there, our in-house planning team will create your wealth metric, a snapshot of where you are and where you're headed. Wealth Metric will help you understand the impact inflation may have on your plans. Get started today. Visit annexwealth.com.
Find Dad's Day deals that won't be beat this Father's Day at Fleet Farm. Going on now. Get $60 off a Milwaukee M18 cordless 2-tool combo kit. On sale, $169. Or get a Bighorn Greystone pellet grill for just $279.99. Plus, if you find a lower price, we'll match it. We have what you need for everyday life at new, lower prices. Fleet Farm.
Traffic is sponsored by Miller Mobility, equipping seniors to remain living at home. Mention this ad and save 10% on stair lifts, scooters, lift chairs, bathroom safety, and more at Miller Mobility's Customer Appreciation Sale, June 9th and 10th. MillerMobility.com.
Checking in on the roads early this Monday morning. What do you have, Deb?
Well, we had that earlier disabled vehicle on 41 northbound right at the end of the Watertown Plank Road on-ramp. Looks like they got that cleared out of the way. So for the most part, we are looking good across the entire system, light volume and full freeway speeds. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a mix of sunshine and cloud cover, a slight chance of a shower, highs in the upper 70s at the lakefront, mid-80s farther inland. Tonight, a slight chance of a shower, mostly cloudy, lows dipping to around 60 degrees. An early shower on Tuesday, partly sunny with highs around 70, mostly sunny for Wednesday and Thursday with highs in the low 70s, and we'll see more sunshine for Friday with a high of 78. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
61 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Coming up on 5:13, and not for nothing, the haze and wildfire smoke still hanging around. Brendan Johnson says it will stay over Wisconsin this morning with air quality that's been hovering around moderate. Says there could be some improvement with the smoke this afternoon and evening. Again, with things cooling off a little bit in the Storm Team forecast. You feeling it a little?
And I'm not one to usually deal with that kind of stuff, but yeah, I've been feeling it. It's been insufferable for other people. I've seen them just sneezing and going nuts.
Yeah, people with severe allergies are struggling through it. Also, people who have other types of breathing issues.
Yeah.
You know, that air quality is, with all that particulate matter in the air, that's definitely causing you some trouble. So if you have strenuous activity outdoors, might want to try to limit that. I wonder if That's why I played such terrible tennis the other night.
Yeah, I definitely think you should blame it on that.
No, but not for nothing. Like I'm in shape, so cardio shouldn't be a problem. And I remember it was in this match, and I'm like, geez, I am not great here.
See, be careful, though. You blame it on the wildfires, and in a couple of weeks when you're still not playing,
still suck. Right? Like, that's smoke. Like, wow, it really hasn't been a problem lately.
Been cleared up. They put that out.
It's the smoke. 5:14. Brandon Snide has sports coming up next.
Your exclusive Merle Norman 4-piece summer gift with purchase is here. Shop now and enjoy travel-sized blush, waterproof mascara, eye gel, and cleansing wipes. While supplies last at Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa, Brookfield Square. Free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last at participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only, beginning June 1st, 2023. Limit 1 per customer. We reserve the right to substitute individual items of gift. Promo not available at merlenorman.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. I played sports my entire life, been hurt a lot of times, but never had been injured until I had to stop doing the sports I enjoyed because my knee flat wouldn't allow it. I visited Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, where they took great care of me. I put my knee in their doctors' capable hands, and now I'm back in the gym, carrying my golf bag, pain-free for 18 holes, and playing tennis as often as I like with no issues. I'd recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin to anyone. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
At Semper Fi, the path to self-improvement never ends. So it feels good to be good. It's been 20 years, and we'll make sure you feel like you made a great decision to have us work on your next exterior remodeling project.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The NBA Finals resumed Sunday night in the Mile High City. Denver looking to take a commanding 2-0 lead, but after being down by double digits in the first half, the Miami Heat stormed back, led by 3 late, with Jamal Murray giving the Nuggets one last chance to tie the game.
Does have a timeout, but they're not using it. 4 seconds. Murray, step back, 3-pointer. Won't go. Fight for the rebound, Martin, and it's over. The Miami Heat have tied the NBA Finals. What a comeback here on the road for the Heat, and it's one apiece.
Gabe Vincent led Miami in scoring with 23 points, while Nikola Jokic added 41 in a 111-108 Heat victory. The series, now tied at 1 game apiece, now shifts to Miami for games 3 and 4. Game 3 will be held on Wednesday night. Over to the Diamond, where Adrian Hauser pitched 7 incredible innings, and Andrew Monasterio hit his first career home run, helping lead the Brewers to a 5-1 victory against Cincinnati.
1-0. High fly ball, deep center field. Benson retreating back onto the warning track at the wall. It'll fly! The ball just kept carrying for Andrew Monasterio. A 3-run shot.
Laying Grindle on the call right here on WTMJ. Did you watch that home run?
No, I heard it. I was listening.
Just kept going. Kept
it did not sound promising off the bat.
It did not. It looked like a routine fly ball, and it just kept going. It was incredible. The Brewers are now winners of 3 straight and 5 of their last 7 games. Milwaukee will look to add to the win column against the Reds tonight in Cincinnati. That first pitch is set for 6:10. Our coverage will begin right here on WTMJ at 5:35. The Green Bay Packers will resume their organized team activities today in Titletown. Matt LaFleur and company preaching patience for his offense early on.
Well, I think we're just very young at certain spots, and so for putting together specifically the offense has been a challenge in terms of just towing that line in terms of what is too much and what is enough we call it, you want to have enough ammo going into a game in order to keep people off balance and whatnot.
The Packers will have OTAs today and tomorrow, and will wrap up on June 8th before mandatory minicamp from June 13th to the 15th. The NFL season is right around the corner.
Coming up, the unlikeliest of soccer victories over the weekend in 11-year-old soccer, but an extraordinary story. And that's next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
In our experience, throwing cheese on something automatically makes it better.
It's skyline time.
But all the cheese in the world couldn't help with, whatever that is.
Now the ball gets away. Yelich is streaking home. Stadium. He is in. The game is tied.
It's the Brewers and the Reds. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Enjoy adventure and relaxation in your new summer ride. It's Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells Cruisin' the Dells giveaways, where on June 24th, you'll have a chance to win a brand new GMC Acadia, along with $10,000 in cash and $1,000 in rewards play. Earn entries all month long. And remember, the more you play, the more chances you have to win. It's the Cruisin' the Dells giveaways, June 24th at Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. Must be 21. See Ho Chunk Gaming representative for more details.
A unique blend of jazz and rock vocal music that has been celebrated by generations. It's Blood, Sweat, and Tears, performing live Friday, July 7th, 8 p.m. at Ho Chunk Gaming.
You made me so.
Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster.
And when I die,
a renaissance of unbridled talent. It's Blood, Sweat, and Tears, July 7th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
Must be 21 to attend concert.
Hey, WTMJ's John Rourke here. When it comes to memory care and assisted living, you want a team that knows compassion and empathy. That's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I know, my grandma was in assisted living. I have an aunt, one of my favorite aunts, right now in memory care. At Azura, they specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They provide additional daily living assistance for those with cognitive decline. 14 locations in Wisconsin, AzuraLiving.com, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. The teams I trust are at Azura. AzuraLiving.com.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, Highway 100 in Layton Avenue, 23rd in Lincoln. Great stores, great cause, and unbelievable bargains. You're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
20 minutes after 5 on Wisconsin's Morning News. What do you see this Monday morning, Debbie?
We've got a pretty good ride shaping up. It's nice and quiet around the area, full freeway speeds, volume is super light, so all is well so far. I'm Debbie Lasga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Today in your Storm Team forecast from meteorologist Brendan Johnson, we've got a mix of sun and clouds with a slight chance of a shower. Boy, we sure could use the rain. High of 85 degrees inland, 77 at the lake. Slight chance for a shower lingers into this evening under mostly cloudy skies with a low down to 60. Looking at Tuesday, chance for a shower in the morning, then partly sunny with a high of 70. And we stick with the 70s through the week. Wednesday's high of 72 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 73. Friday, mostly sunny, and a high of 78. Right now, our temp in Milwaukee, 61 degrees. Story for you this Monday morning that should connect with all of you moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, aunts and uncles, caregivers of any kind who sat through how many youth soccer games or youth baseball, whatever sport your kid is in, the Saturdays, the Sundays, the late weeknights that you've watched your kids out there doing what they do.
And for me, generally, it's helpful when the teams are competitive, right? When the games are close. Just more fun that way for everybody.
Sure, right.
Win or lose, it's just if the talent is equal, makes it more fun.
Well, first of all, not for nothing, but you're a spectator. Okay, so
yes.
Look, I'm there for my kid, hoping that he or she develops and enjoys it and experiences joy through sport. But also, look, if I got to be here for an hour and a half, give me a ball game.
Give me something to watch.
Give me something to watch.
Well, I got my money's worth over the weekend. So my 11-year-old, she plays soccer, and it's this, it's like a year-long thing. So they play in the fall, and then there's a winter break, and then they finish up the season. If you want. Some kids drop out halfway through, but otherwise,
same team.
Yeah, same team. Okay. Then in the spring, and she'll do some indoor stuff in the winter. But otherwise, it's the same. Generally speaking, the same team with the same coach in the spring. So played in the fall and had a good. It was okay. The team was okay. Not the best by any means in the league. And great coach. She's just a phenomenal coach. Just very good, positive energy. Never got out of line. Never was worked up about anything. Just a very strong, energetic. Happy coach, which was my favorite part.
Right. What you want for your kid. Not overly competitive, help my kid develop. Yeah. Let's have fun. They're 11.
So this spring, they're 11, and I think it's I think the age group that she plays for is 11 through 13 or something like that, maybe. So anyway, this spring they were really bad. They were had not won a game. And still, coach, I give her a lot of credit. Say she never lost her, still very positive, very energetic and all that stuff. Still at practice and all that stuff. But my kid, I have to admit, was starting to lose it a little bit. Like, it's very bad. Well, this weekend was like the big Bob Bus tournament. It's like this is the end of the season, and it's a big tournament, and it's always a lot of fun, and there's a lot of energy. And
is that what Matzik's kids were in? I was in an event with Matzik this week, and he was in and out. He kept having to leave because his girl's 9 years old and 6,
younger,
I think.
Yeah, same kind of stuff. Yeah,
he's like, I got to go. We got a 9 o'clock game, and then we got another one at 2.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's just exciting. So anyway, and I've seen him at the fields there. So my team, I said to Angela, Mike, so if they lose both games, do they have to play Sunday? Like, is it possible?
Do I get my Sunday back? Are we good? I'm not. No, I certainly wouldn't want that. Of course, no.
No, they're going to play Sunday no matter what. Well, anyway, they win the first game out of nowhere. Like, they won 2-0. It was a great game, and I'm like, wow, okay. So then they have to play later in that day, and then if they win that one, they'll seed out and become in the championship game on Sunday. So we're trying to figure out. I'm like, well, there's no way they win the second game Saturday. They win the second game Saturday out of nowhere. This team
is a team that is not winning.
Yeah, has not won all spring. So they win both games, and they're good, like awesome competitive games. And Britain played some great defense and all that stuff. So then Sunday comes, and they're playing on the turf field. And
fancy. Okay.
So I said, and the other team, I'd seen them play this other team before, and this other team's very good, very well coached. The girls are very good. And right away, like 10 seconds in, they score. The other team does. And I'm like, whoa, here we go.
The dream is over.
Is there a run rule in championship games? In
fun
soccer?
While it lasted, kids. Just go out and have fun.
Well, girls played strong. They tied it. Britain's team tied it. So then second half, back and forth. The other team's taking all these shots, just hitting the pole, never making it, just real close but never getting it in. Goes into overtime. And we have no sudden death, but it's like 2 halves of an overtime game. First half, no score. Like a couple of close shots here and there.
Oh, grinder.
Nothing.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yes,
right now.
aren't you?
Yeah, keep going.
And like, this is awesome. Like, we're all like, oh, yeah, because there's just some great, like, everyone's got great energy for it. Second half of this overtime, there's 2 minutes left. Ball gets kicked up and starts rolling to the opposing goalie, right? And we have one forward who's running toward it. So the goalie and this forward are running for the ball at the same time. Goalie played it perfectly. She ran out, didn't try to grab it with her hand. She just booted it as hard as she could just to clear it.
Yeah.
So she runs out of the goal box, boots it right out of Ted Lasso, bam, in the forward's face. Bounces right off her face, goes over the goalie's head. She turns to try to catch it as it's rolling toward the goal, and it slowly rolls across the line.
Goal!
And we win!
Oh, my God.
We win!
No way.
So this team that had not won all spring.
Miracle on the grass.
Yes, wins 3 in a row, and now Bryn's got a big old trophy.
Was she bloody?
She didn't know
nothing?
what planet she was on. It's like everyone's cheering, and she's kind of stumbling around.
She's okay, right?
Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah,
she got her trophy. She's good. But yeah, it was an amazing
That's
moment.
awesome.
So
she wakes up this morning going, "What happened yesterday?"
You won. You won the game.
When does the 30 for 30 start?
Yeah, right. Well, I was documenting.
What if I told you the most unlikely team was about to win this? News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed Friday up 700 points to 33,763. The NASDAQ at 13,241. That was up nearly 140 on the day. And the S&P 500 closed at 4282. That was up more than 61 points. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
The true variable speed capacity compressor on the Armstrong Air Pro Series is for the AC fanatic. Rather than running at 1 or even 2 speeds, this compressor changes its speed in small, precise increments and adjusts cooling up and down like a dimmer switch, so temperatures are held exactly where you want them, even in extremely hot weather. If you're an AC fanatic, this is the unit you want.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
On a hot summer day when I walk through that door, I want to feel that cold air. Because we both know that is a great feeling. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. There's going to be a day when that AC of yours just isn't cranking like it used to. And that's when you want someone there fast, fixing it right the first time, because they've been doing it a long time. 20 service techs with over 20 years of experience. When you're in an AC emergency, see the man in the red van.
Quality heating, quality heating.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Traffic is sponsored by Wenninger Compressor, ready to service any facility at pressureisoff.biz.
Wisconsin's Morning News National Anthem brought to you by Wenninger Compressor, American patriotism made in Wisconsin. Here are the 4-H Showcase Singers. Debbie's traffic.
Yeah, everything's looking great right now. Full freeway speeds, not slowing down. Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
High of 85 degrees at the lake today. 77 at the lake, 85 inland under a mix of sun and clouds. Just a slight chance for a shower right now at 61 degrees.
A wayward and unresponsive plane flying over Washington, D.C. in restricted airspace. It caused the military to scramble fighter jets before the plane finally crashed in Virginia. There were no survivors. The 2024 race for the Republican presidential nomination hitting Iowa over the weekend. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has details.
Nearly every Republican running for president spending the weekend in Iowa, appearing at a rally at the state fairgrounds near Des Moines. Pence in jeans, boots, and a leather vest, teasing his presidential announcement. Former President Donald Trump, the leading Republican presidential candidate, notably absent from the event after spending 2 days in the state last week.
A close call between a Chinese warship and an American destroyer. U.S. officials call it aggressive action in international waters and say the maneuver was unsafe because the ships were so close. China accuses the U.S. of aggressive action. Saudi Arabia saying it'll significantly cut the amount of crude it contributes next month. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News, time 5:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, the bus rapid transit line is now operational. TMJ4's Elaine Rojas Castillo has more on Connect One.
The new 9-mile east-west route will run from the Milwaukee Regional Medical Center in Wauwatosa to downtown and feature 11 electric buses, elevated bus stations, and new technology. Daytime buses will arrive every 10 minutes on weekdays and every 15 minutes on the weekends. Buses will arrive every 20 to 30 minutes during the evenings. MCTS leaders say the hope is that with its added resources, people consider this as a bus station rather than a bus stop.
Bus line kicked off on Sunday. Actually, today, city and county leaders will hold the official dog and pony show, the ribbon cutting ceremony later this morning.
The search is on for a suspect believed to have shot and killed a 1-year-old child in Milwaukee. This is the 10th murder of a child in Milwaukee so far this year. Police say this happened over the weekend, Saturday night near 19th and Atkinson. The little girl was shot inside a vehicle by a known suspect during an argument between adults. The girl identified as Zaire Nevels.
A triple shooting at a Mount Pleasant convenience store Saturday night, according to TMJ4 News. Mount Pleasant police say 3 people were shot near 22nd and Meade. 1 person treated at a nearby hospital, 2 others treated at Frederick for serious injuries. Police are investigating the shooting as an attempted homicide.
The Forest County Potawatomi community purchasing land near Oconomowoc from a local Boy Scouts council. The Milwaukee Business Journal's Mark Cass.
Real interesting move here. It's like 300 acres out west. No specific thing for it yet. In other areas of the community, they've done office parks, they've done other type of things, but they're really not saying. They've been upgrading the casino right here in Milwaukee.
The land actually part of Potawatomi's treaty homelands and includes the Indian Mound Scout Reservation Camp. This is the Potawatomi's second recent purchase after buying 23 acres of land in Kenosha County last March.
Move over Nashville, Milwaukee becoming a booming market for country music.
George Strait already made Brewers history as the first music headliner when Miller Park opened in 2001. Now he's set a new concert attendance record for the stadium. According to Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, the King of Country Music bested Paul McCartney's record by a few thousand people at Saturday's American Family Field show with openers Chris Stapleton and Little Big Town. This comes after Morgan Wallen became the first artist to headline 2 consecutive nights at the Brewers Stadium in April. Strait has more top 10 songs on the Billboard country charts than any other artist. Jessica Gatzo, WTMJ News.
Man, I wonder if that 2 nights thing can catch on too. It's a lot to ask of an artist that has a lot of stops, but if they can fill it, you go through all the trouble of setting up the infrastructure.
Might as well.
Right?
Make the money.
If you can fill it twice, might as well. That place was hopping. 5:34. Coming up next, there is not good news ahead at the gas pump. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. When a company needs to downsize, 2 things are essential: managing the employees affected and making sure your company's reputation stays intact. LAK Group profoundly understands this, having assisted companies across the Midwest with outplacement. LAK acts as your partner, giving employees guidance and ensuring companies get through it smoothly. If you need outplacement services, LAK can help. Learn more at transformingcareers.com. LAK Group. Discover your human advantage.
Here's to the farm and fleet dads, the ones who work hard and get the job done right, the ones who take pride in what they do and take the time to pass it on. This Father's Day, get your dad a gift he'll love, like comfortable and tough men's Wolverine work boots, $10 off. And save $10 on all men's cat footwear, the perfect gift for dads who can do it all.
The hardest working people in America find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too. Because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach, one who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters: winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at accunet.com.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:36.
How about a sweep in Cincinnati? Brandon Snide has sports at 5:45.
Just as summer's nearly here, a warning that gas prices could be on the rise.
Saudi Arabia says it will reduce how much oil it sends to the global economy. Starting in July, the country will cut 1 million barrels per day. They say they're doing it to, quote, bring stability to the market. This will be the 3rd cut, and all told, OPEC Plus has now dropped production on paper by 4.6 million barrels a day. Experts say this new cut would likely push up oil prices in the short term, but the impact after that would depend on whether Saudi Arabia decides to extend it. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Now, right now in Wisconsin, the average price for a gallon of regular is $3.44 a gallon.
Officials in India say they have identified the cause of the weekend's massive and deadly train crash. CBS News' Jerika Duncan with more.
India's rail minister said it appears a malfunctioning signal is to blame for the country's worst train disaster in decades. It caused 2 passenger trains to change tracks and slam into a freight train. The trains were carrying more than 2,200 people. Nearly 300 of them were killed and nearly 1,000 were injured.
Scientific evidence has led to the release of an Australian woman who has spent the last 20 years in prison. The BBC's Phil Mercer with the story.
Kathleen Folbig, who's now 55, has always denied killing her children. They died suddenly between 1989 and 1999, aged between 19 days and 19 months. Their mother was convicted of smothering them in a trial that relied on circumstantial evidence. A recent inquiry in Australia heard new scientific evidence that suggested the deaths could have been caused by genetic mutations or disorders. Mrs. Folbig has been granted an unconditional pardon by the New South Wales state governor and released from prison.
Coming up, more on those F-16 fighter jets that were scrambled at a moment's notice, what they intercepted, and the sonic booms that were heard all over the D.C. metro. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
If you're on the job day in and day out, you know living with pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders is miserable. The good news, QC Kinetics gets it. They understand guys like you.
They don't have the luxury of taking time off. They want to keep working. We are built for those guys that want to keep working and want to stay active. So the vast majority of who we see are the blue-collar guys like me and you.
QC Kinetics uses biologic therapies, just like pro athletes have used for years, to get you lasting pain relief with no surgery.
I want you to continue working. I want you to continue exercising. The joints are made to be moved.
The treatments at QC Kinetics are fast and non-invasive.
It's not a lot of time commitment on your part. There is no downtime or recovery time. You don't need short-term disability with what we do. We want to keep you active.
Call QC Kinetics now to set up your free no-obligation consultation. Learn how you can get real pain relief and stay on the job.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Traffic is sponsored by Trees on the Move. From planning to planting, it's Trees on the Move. We all look forward to outdoor living in Wisconsin. From planning to planting and everything in between, now is the perfect time to let Trees on the Move beautify your landscape.
20 minutes before 6. What do you see on the roads, Deb?
Not too much. Volume's starting to pick up just a little bit, but overall, we're moving along very well. Road conditions are great, so nothing to slow you down. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a mix of sunshine and cloud cover, a bit of wildfire smoke still around, a slight chance of a shower with highs in the upper 70s at the lakefront, mid-80s farther inland. Tonight, a slight chance of a shower, mostly cloudy with lows dipping to around 60 degrees. Outside of an early shower on Tuesday, it's partly sunny with a high of 70. Mostly sunny for Wednesday and Thursday with highs in the low 70s, and will climb close to 80 degrees on Friday with a mostly sunny sky. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
61 degrees in Milwaukee. 541 in Wisconsin's Morning News. Listen closely to this sound coming up. This was recorded on a security camera at a home in suburban Washington, D.C., Fairfax County, Virginia. Yeah, that boom or two booms you may have heard there, posted to Twitter by a guy who heard the sound of fighter jets that went supersonic working to intercept a plane in the D.C. area, where the pilot of that plane was unresponsive and had drifted into concerning airspace around the Capitol. Particularly concerning was the aircraft was en route to New York State and then took a sharp turn and started heading back toward Washington. So that puts you on the radar of what exactly is going on here. As for the sonic booms, when a jet reaches the speed of sound, it creates that sonic boom, and that was heard all over the D.C. metro as these fighters were scrambled. Now, typically, they're not allowed to do that, even in training exercises. Eric, you and I have both flown. You flew with the
Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds for the Air Force. I was with the Blue Angels for the Navy, and I'm like, hey, let's go. Yep, sound barrier, here we go. And they're like, we'll get you right up to the edge of Mach 1, but we can't do that. Right, because it freaks people out, and if it's not necessary, it's not necessary. But this tells you the urgency of the matter, that they were seeking that aircraft. ABC's Andrew Dimbert tells us what this was all about.
The sound was caused by two D.C. Air National Guard F-16s that were scrambled from Maryland after a Cessna business jet entered restricted airspace over the nation's capital. Around 3 p.m., those F-16s going supersonic to catch up with the Cessna, creating a sonic boom heard in D.C. and surrounding areas. The Capitol and White House were both briefly placed on high alert.
The jet was a twin-engine, high-end Cessna, so think like a nice corporate private jet sort of thing, right? Had On board was a family. The man who runs the Florida-based company that owns the jet told the Washington Post that it was his daughter, his 2-year-old granddaughter, and her nanny, and then the pilot who were all on the flight. He said they were returning home to Long Island, New York, after visiting for a visit to his North Carolina home. So this immediately reminded me, and apparently many others, of a similar situation many years ago. These jets can fly high enough, these private corporate jets, where you need a pressurized cabin, much like anybody else when you fly commercial, right? It's what causes the ears popping,
Yes.
when you're going up in the... It doesn't cause that. It's the pressure changes and whatnot. But you have to have a pressurized cabin to fly very high like they do. And if that pressurization fails, it can cause what they call hypoxia. Here's Dimbert again on that.
Aviation experts say hypoxia may have incapacitated the pilot and those on board. The incident bringing to mind the 1999 crash that killed champion golfer Payne Stewart and 5 others after the pilots and passengers became unresponsive. That plane was flying from Orlando to Dallas, but crashed when it ran out of fuel over South Dakota.
So that is not confirmed at this point, Eric, but certainly seems to be the prevailing theory at the moment.
Because no one was responding. They kept trying to alert the jet, kept trying to reach out to it, call to it, and it wasn't doing anything.
And exactly what happened to the Payne Stewart situation. In fact, I think the pilots that intercepted that jet even could see the other pilot, and nothing happened in there. So that is the prevailing theory at the moment. We're also talking about those F-16 pilots, 2 of them who were scrambled. That is like the worst call, right? Because nothing. You already know when you're launched here, nothing good's going to come of this. If we have to take some sort of action on a civilian aircraft, that's terrible. If we have to monitor it and basically watch it crash, that's terrible.
Awful.
So no good outcome in that. Again, 4 dead, including that 2-year-old little girl. 5:44, Brandon Snide has sports next.
Your exclusive Merle Norman 4-piece summer gift with purchase is here. Shop now and enjoy travel-sized blush, waterproof mascara, eye gel, and cleansing wipes. While supplies last at Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa at Brookfield Square. Free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last at participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only, beginning June 1st, 2023. Limit 1 per customer. We reserve the right to substitute individual items of gift. Promo not available at merlenorman.com.
I'm Sandy Max, and I am a big fan of public television. Did you know that Milwaukee PBS is celebrating 65 years of serving southeastern Wisconsin? And it is your support that makes this possible. All this week, Milwaukee PBS is celebrating summer with concerts and specials. Tonight at 7, watch Things That Aren't Here Anymore, a nostalgic look at Milwaukee's past from days gone by. Milwaukee PBS, a community treasure for 65 years.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com. Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Staring at a possible 2-0 hole, Miami turned the heat on in Game 2, storming back in the second half and taking down Denver 111-108 in Game 2.
Does have a timeout, but they're not using it. 4 seconds. Murray, step back, 3-pointer. Won't go. Fight for the rebound, Martin, and it's over. The Miami Heat have tied the NBA Finals. What a comeback here on the road for the Heat, and it's 1 apiece.
Mike Breen on the call for ESPN as Gabe Vincent and the Heat completely come back on the road. The series now tied at 1 game apiece. Now shifts to Miami for Games 3 and 4. Game 3 will be held on Wednesday night. The Green Bay Packers will be back on the practice field later today for Block 3 of their organized team activities. The vibes right now are good in Titletown, and the talk of a rebuild isn't something Christian Watson or the team is willing to buy.
I definitely feel like it's the crutch that everyone wants to lean on outside of the facility, not knowing what's going on in here. It's easy to say that, they lost, Aaron, it's going to be, a down year or whatever. I feel like that's just the easy route to take, but that's none of our mentality in here. We're never trying to, think of it as, a rebuild or whatever people want to, say it is. Our goal each and every year is to, win the North and make the playoffs and win a Super Bowl.
The Packers will have OTAs today and tomorrow and will wrap up on June 8th before mandatory minicamp that occurs from June 13th to the 15th. The Milwaukee Brewers are now winners of 3 straight and 4 of their last 5 games. And Sunday, the winning continued behind 7 fantastic innings from starter Adrian Hauser and a career milestone for Andrew Monasterio.
1-0. High fly ball, deep center field. Benson retreating back onto the warning track at the wall. It'll fly! The ball just kept carrying for Andrew Monasterio. A 3-run shot.
Lane Grindle on the call right here on WTMJ. As the Brewers go on for the 5-1 win, Milwaukee will now look to complete the 4-game sweep against the Reds in Cincinnati tonight. Our coverage will begin right here on WTMJ at 5:35.
Hey, Brandon, this Monasterio kid, and we just picked him up. Like, is this a
26-year-old veteran? He's been roughly 9 years in the minor leagues, and his Brewers debut, his major league debut with the Brewers, because of injuries. And he comes in and
pretty good.
Like most Brewers, come in, plug him in, and he plays, and he's been fantastic. He took a shot to the face over the weekend. Did you see that?
On the base pads.
Got punched in the face, went out, came back in, knocks in a home run for the Brewers yesterday. So their fun ride in Cincinnati continues tonight. Lastly, the Milwaukee Admirals face elimination tonight after dropping Game 5 on Saturday to Coachella Valley in Milwaukee. The Ads and Firebirds are set for a 7 p.m. puck drop in Palm Springs.
5:48, the Magic Bus is on the road. Who's on it? Your ticket to ride next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Couldn't make it to the game?
Here, try this.
If you live in Milwaukee, Racine, Waukesha, Ozaki, or Washington County,
Get up! Get up! Get out of here and go!
you can stream Bob Uecker and the Brewers on your phone, tablet, or computer.
Struck him out looking.
Using the WTMJ app or at WTMJ.com.
A little different from when you played, Uke. Yeah, those big old payphones we had. Ah, man.
Busy weekends are a perfect opportunity. Hey, everybody, Debbie Laziga here for Hall Mazda, and I don't know about you, but this weekend was pretty packed with graduations and get-togethers, yard work, and even relaxing. I had the opportunity to just drive around a little bit in my brand new CX-30 from Hall Mazda, and you know how when you made a decision on a big purchase and you get the thing like a car, and then suddenly you start noticing how many of the same make and model you chose are actually out there. I've started noticing not just the other CX-30s, but other models like the CX-5 and the CX-3, not to mention the CX-90, the brand new one out there. All the other models of sedans, sport cars that they've got at Mazda as well. There are plenty out there, and there's a good reason. Mazdas are good vehicles. They have great service records. They're designed with the driver in mind. So if you're even thinking about possibly, maybe someday soon getting a new car, do yourself a favor and give Hall Mazda in Brookfield a call. Their folks have all the info you could possibly need to make a smart, informed decision. At Hall Mazda, it's Hall Good.
Don't miss out on the Memorial Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. For 2 weeks, enjoy 35% off Norwalk Upholstery. Norwalk Furniture is an Ohio-based company specializing in handcraft upholstered furniture since 1902. Create a sofa or chair as unique as you are with our thousands of customizable options. If you want spectacular discounts on the best furniture you'll ever own, stop in at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield and Highway 100 in Greenfield. Memorial Day sale ends June 5th.
Milwaukee mattresses are made with the finest materials and support systems. Innerspring, latex rubber, individually pocketed, or gel memory foam choices give you every comfort option. Take a test rest and you'll feel the quality and see a price tag marked hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Why? Because they come direct from our factory and sold at our Ken Michaels Furniture stores in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee, where no middleman means no extra markup and real savings for you.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living. Learn more about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options. Visit harwoodplace.org or call to schedule a tour.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
If you're not on the Magic Bus, how do the roads look, Deb?
We're looking pretty good. Super quiet right now. No delays east or westbound on 94, north and southbound on 43 and 41, both looking just fine through the construction zone. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. We'll still have some wildfire smoke hanging around with moderate breathing levels today, but just something to be aware of with a mix of sun and clouds and a slight chance for a shower. High of 85 inland, 77 at the lake. Slight chance for a shower tonight. Mostly cloudy skies, low down to 60. Then we've got a chance for a morning shower Tuesday under partly sunny skies, high of 70. Wednesday and Thursday, both mostly sunny, high temps in the low 70s. Friday, mostly sunny and a high up to 78 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee at 61.
If you wanna go and take a ride with me, we three women in the four with the goatees. So why do I live this way? Must be the money.
So the Magic Bus is up and running.
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
Kind of a soft launch, if you will. Milwaukee County Transit Connect One is operational. Started service on Monday with a big dog and pony show scheduled for later today. Now, I have teased the launch, Eric, as you know.
Yes, you have.
And surrounding hoopla.
And I've been very friendly about this.
About the bus rapid transit. Because of the cost, startup in the neighborhood of some $55 million. The loss of traffic lanes, as there are now bus-only lanes on Wisconsin and Blue Mound roads, and mostly because the outlandish predictions that so many people will be enamored of the bus that shaves a few minutes off the typical bus drive time, that people will ditch their cars by the thousands and become transit riders.
So what's the projection by 2035? It'll have more than 9,000 passengers?
Additional, right, 9,000 daily riders.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And that may or may not be, and again, I'm not rooting against the Magic Bus just so I can prove me right.
You want to eat crow?
I just don't believe it, right? But there is some excitement, no question, surrounding the launch.
Now, these buses are supposed to have fewer stops and are supposed to get us to our locations faster than a normal bus. So we'll go see what it's all about.
That's WTMJ's own Jason Smith.
Yes, he took a ride.
Yes, we sent him out. I found him last week. I'm like, dude, you need to ride this bus for us. And you need to be our correspondent. I want you to post all over social and report back to us. So he rode the Magic Bus yesterday. He was prolific in his Twitter videos on 620's handle. So if you want to see them all, they're all up there if you like. Jason made some friends. How about this guy? He discovered a new feature on the bus.
I'm charging my phone right now. Oh, it's a charging station in here. Yeah, under all the seats. Yeah. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Okay, cool. So do you think you're going to be riding this bus? Especially, I mean, it is free for the next 4 months. So you think you're going to be riding this bus for the time being?
Just whenever I got it on this road. So other than that.
Yeah, so the buses come equipped with charging ports for your electronic devices.
Okay.
That's nice.
Awesome.
They're supposed to be a little bit nicer than your standard bus.
All right.
A little bit more bougie. That guy says he'll ride the Magic Bus to work when it
makes
where
sense
it's
for
taking
him.
it right. Yeah. Out-of-towners already discovering the BRT. Day one.
So how did you hear about the new BRT buses? I mean, this is the first day they launched.
I heard it on Reddit.
She heard it on Reddit, so just following her lead, and then we came out down this way. So
Yeah, so these folks are from Washington State, and Jason's talking to them. They're on the BRT, the Connect One, and they Googled like how to get where they're going, right? And Google told them to ride the Magic Bus.
I'm like, all right.
Like, what are the reasons why you're on it? Because of the shorter trip times, or was there a different reason?
It's more of a direct path to where we're going at the moment. So I think Google kind of led us down this way, so we're like, cool, straight path to the venue that we're going to.
Okay, and not for nothing. Like if we want more conventions, if we want more people to come and visit our community, and then those conventions, or the Republican National Convention gets tens of thousands of people here, and they say, "Oh, I'd like to come back to Milwaukee." So we want people to come, and if you have something like where you're Googling how to get to where you want, and there's like a straight path, I see that as being beneficial.
So I'm the only one that's always pleasantly surprised when I hear that there's tourists in Milwaukee.
Oh, good. Yes.
Hey,
welcome to our town.
Just on a random weekend.
Right.
I love it.
It's one of the reasons why people like to come here. What do they always say? Always, always, always. First time here. What are you surprised with? The people. People are so friendly. People are so nice. So that's good. That's a good reputation to have.
Yeah.
So the Dog and Pony Show, ribbon cutting to mark the launch of the Magic Bus. Eric, federal, state, and local officials all expected.
I was going to say there's a lot of people on
Big
this list. Did you? We have the president of MCTS. We have the county executive. We have Congresswoman Gwen Moore. We have the mayor. We have the lieutenant governor. We have the TOSA mayor. And that's just to name a few. The list continues.
It's a long list. Like, this is the 3-4 page news release.
We have Vince Vitrano on here.
I am not on that list.
Vince Vitrano, WTMJ air personality, will fire off the button.
we'll cut the ribbon. Here we go. Well, I hope it is successful. Jason Smith is going to join us at 7:20 this morning for more reflections on his ride. Business headlines are up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Rich Kirchen.
Giannis Antetokounmpo and his brothers launch a company called Anti Incorporated. It's a central location for business ventures, including sports franchises and a store at the Athens airport. Republican National Committee leases office space at the Associated Bank River Center downtown. It houses staff for the 2024 National Convention in Milwaukee. Diane Hendricks of ABC Supply in Beloit again tops Forbes' list of America's richest self-made women. Joining her this year is Elizabeth Uline of Uline Incorporated and Judy Faulkner of Epic Systems. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at Babbel.com/TNC.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, you're starting to speak another language.
Babbel's lessons are voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no better way than
Babbel.
Text radio to 64,000 to try Babbel for free. Text radio to 64,000.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. A couple years ago, my knee was acting up. As an athlete, I've played through pain before, but it was getting to the point where I couldn't compete in the sports I loved. I decided to check out Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's the best decision I've made. I felt no pressure to have surgery. That was important to me. We had choices. I ultimately did choose to have a procedure. I was in and out in just hours and back in action shortly after. I recommend meeting their doctors. Visit orthowisconsin.com today.
Would you trust a part-time dentist? Then why would you trust a part-time fiduciary? Some financial professionals say they're a fiduciary, and they are, part-time. The other portion of the time they're interacting with you, they might be serving other interests. Do yourself a favor. Ask your financial professional if they're a fiduciary all the time. Annex Wealth Management is. Drill down into your finances with the full-time fiduciary team at Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Your hometown hub for everything that matters. The latest news, traffic, weather, and sports on Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
6 a.m., I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Monday, June 5th. Our top story, F-16 scrambled to stop a jet near the nation's capital.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A 1-year-old girl becomes the 10th child killed in Milwaukee this year.
I'm Brandon Snod. Miami turns up the heat in Denver.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Everything's looking pretty good out on the roads. Light volume and full freeway speeds, even through the construction zones. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Warm one today, mix of sun and clouds, and a slight chance of a shower with an 85-degree high temperature. Inland 77 at the lake. Slight chance of a shower lingers into tonight, that mostly cloudy with a low down to 60. Right now we're at 60 degrees in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, no survivors. A wayward jet caused a military jet alert around Washington, D.C. before that private aircraft crashed in Virginia.
I'm Tom Foti. Following an air and ground search in mountainous terrain near Montebello, Virginia, responders reached the site of the small plane crash on foot. They found no survivors. This was about 5 hours after a military intercepted the Cessna business plane as it mysteriously flew in restricted airspace here in the capital region following an unplanned turn over New York's Long Island. The supersonic military catch-up caused a loud sonic boom heard throughout much of this area, with no sign of a response from the pilot of the small plane as it flew on to rural Virginia, where it crashed. Tom Foti, CBS News, Washington.
Here at home, the bus rapid transit line now open and in operation. The east-west line on Wisconsin Avenue, connecting the regional medical complex in Wauwatosa to the Milwaukee lakefront, started up Sunday. It's called Connect One. And not just for local, there's a couple from Washington State among those on the inaugural ride.
I heard it on Reddit.
She heard it on Reddit, so just following her lead, and then we came out down this way. So I think Google kind of led us down this way, so we're like, cool, straight path to the venue that we're going to.
The electric bus currently free to ride. A ribbon-cutting ceremony takes place today.
Search is still on for the person believed to have shot and killed a 1-year-old girl in Milwaukee. This is the 10th murder of a child in the city so far this year, and police say it happened Saturday night, 19th and Atkinson. Girl was shot inside a vehicle by a known suspect during an argument that was playing out between adults. The child identified as Zaire Nevels.
A triple shooting in Mount Pleasant at a convenience store Saturday night. Mount Pleasant police say 3 people shot near 22nd and Meade, all 3 in the hospital. They're looking into that shooting as an attempted homicide.
Minor league soccer may not be coming to Wisconsin anytime soon. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting a proposal to provide state funds that would have paid or helped pay for the downtown Milwaukee Stadium in what would be the Iron District. Well, that deal is dead. State legislature's Joint Finance Committee rejected Governor Evers' proposal to include just over $9 million for the $45 million stadium in the state budget. Kasmeric Enterprises, looking to bring a soccer team to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee Pro Soccer LLC, just a few weeks ago, launched a contest for the public to vote on potential team names.
The race for the Republican presidential nomination is heating up this week, with several high-profile GOP names expected to make their big announcements. ABC's Rhiannon Alley.
Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is expected to announce he's running for president tomorrow, followed by a similar announcement by former Vice President Mike Pence on Wednesday. Nearly every Republican running for president spending the weekend in Iowa, appearing at a rally at the state fairgrounds near Des Moines.
Now, former President Donald Trump, the leading GOP candidate right now in the polls, was not on hand over the weekend. He spent 2 days in Iowa last week.
U.S. officials faced another dangerously close call this weekend from the Chinese military after one of their warships swerved just 150 yards in front of American and Canadian ships, forcing the 2 ships to narrowly avoid a collision in what the administration is calling an aggressive act. ABC's Lindsay Watts.
Estimates are the Chinese ship was just 150 yards from the U.S. destroyer. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin warning China's government.
Do the right things to rein in that kind of conduct, because I think accidents can happen that could cause things to spiral out of control.
China's defense minister is defending its warship, telling the U.S. to, quote, mind your own business.
Coming up, a warning from park rangers that really should go without saying. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:05.
This report sponsored by Evans Transportation Services, one company for accounting, shipping, and tracking.
At Evans Transportation, they love the sounds of Milwaukee baseball. Bats cracking, crowds cheering, brats grilling. And Evans is a big fan of manufacturing runs, both on the diamond and in supply chain management. When manufacturers have accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, they come to Evans. Because just like in baseball, teams who know how to manufacture runs have the best chance of long-term success. Evans in Delafield supports Milwaukee's baseball team. Find them at evanstrans.com.
It's David Nason for Current Electric. They've been providing 5-star electrical service for 40 years, striving to be southeastern Wisconsin's first choice in renewable energy. Discover the latest benefits of going solar at Current Electric's Solar Block Party. Enjoy food, games, and prizes, and learn how you can save on your energy bill too. Join me at the Solar Block Party this Saturday, June 10th, from 11 to 1:30 in West Allis at 2141 South 55th Street. Contact their superheroes today at callcurrent.com.
The year is almost half over and you are still dealing with that knee or hip pain, right? Enough is enough. Pills are not the answer, and neither is surgery. You need to call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. The advanced regenerative medicine solutions at QC Kinetics can give you a life without chronic joint pain. You can do all those summer activities you used to enjoy. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in taking healing properties from your own body and applying them right to your achy joint, so your joint tissue can be repaired and restored naturally. The treatment is revolutionary, and it's right here in Milwaukee. Patients across America are having life-changing results, and there's no drugs or surgery or downtime. If you have pain in your knees, back, shoulders, hips, you got to stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can give you your life back. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
Preaching patience. How Matt LaFleur is kind of ramping up the offense under new starter Jordan Love. That story coming up in sports at 6:15.
Park rangers at Yellowstone are issuing a new warning for visitors to respect the area's natural residents. This after a slew of close encounters put both humans and animals at risk. ABC's Derek Dennis.
Park officials say there's been a series of frightening close encounters at Yellowstone, including 2 tourists under investigation for grabbing a baby elk. And last month, a man from Hawaii charged with intentionally disturbing wildlife after handling a newborn bison. Also surfacing online, a Yellowstone tourist taking a selfie next to a bison, and another video near Old Faithful showing a bison charging at a family. The father gored, trying to save his son. A statement from Yellowstone says some actions by visitors have led to the endangerment of people and wildlife and resulted in the death of wildlife.
And people in the Midwest just got a grisly warning from police.
Most people don't need to hear this, but police in Missouri are reminding folks not to wrestle bears. A black bear has been spotted wandering around the city of Salem, so the police department posted a warning on its social media page not to touch, feed, or wrestle it. Bear wrestling is illegal there. It's considered a misdemeanor in Missouri. And for the record, there are no reports of anyone actually trying to, but one guy wrote he might, so have a warrant ready. Which is why police say they're monitoring the situation closely. Okay. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
Come on. Guy's messing with you.
Get your warrant ready, because I'm wrestling that bear. Oh, yeah? You can't tell me what to do.
I don't want it in my flower bed.
That's right. You can't tell me, police. You back off. I'm going to wrestle that bear.
Yeah.
6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
You know you should be saving your hard-earned money in a safe place, but there's a difference between just letting it sit there and watching it grow. With Town Bank's great new rates on savings accounts, you can start earning more than ever before. Make the switch today and get more interest and their award-winning customer service. But act fast. These great new rates won't be here for long. Learn how much your money can grow at townbank.us. Banking products provided by Winters Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Get up, get out, get over here, go! It's the Grand Slam giveaway at Potawatomi. This June, play with your club card and you'll have 4 chances to hit big and slide into home with a share of the show-stopping $400,000 in cash and prizes. 50 winners each Thursday. Step up and knock your luck out of the park. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. More info at paysbig.com/Grand Slam. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Checking in with Debbie here at 6:10.
All right, super quiet out on the roads right now. Volume picking up a little bit, but overall, everybody is rolling along at standard speeds. I'm Debbie Losgo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a mix of sunshine and cloud cover. Highs in the upper 70s at the lakefront, mid-80s farther inland. A slight chance of a shower. We'll hold on to that chance of rain overnight. Mostly cloudy with lows dipping to around 60 degrees. And outside of an early shower or thunderstorm on Tuesday, it's partly sunny with a high near 70. Mostly sunny for Wednesday and Thursday. Highs in the low 70s and more sunshine for Friday as highs climb close to 80 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
At 60 right now in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Did everybody except my 2 daughters get tickets to Taylor Swift?
It sure seemed like it, right?
In Chicago. They believe so.
I know a lot of people who went.
So bent out of shape. Well, you know, we tried to, when those tickets went on sale for the tour that broke Ticketmaster and the internet, right? And, you know, they like T Swift, so, you know, okay, maybe a birthday, maybe something. Didn't didn't get close apparently to getting tickets, and then other people were picking them up, and somebody got them from here and somebody got them from there. And I was told all weekend about what they were seeing pop up in their feeds, but all the people who got to go except them.
I knew people that were leaving yesterday for the show at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
For an evening show?
And the one guy, he's a dad, he's like, I don't know what to wear. He's like, this is supposed to be an event. Like, you're supposed to wear something. Like, I'm like, well, you could just be
Something
the dad.
pretty?
Right. A beige shirt on or something.
That's funny. Speaking of dads, do you follow on Twitter Super 70s Sports?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? These guys
yeah.
write hilarious stuff. And this had to be from somebody's dad. He goes, I'm sitting in Soldier Field with my daughters waiting for Taylor Swift and surrounded by more sequence than I've ever seen in my life. And all I can think about is how many yards Walter Payton ran for in this place. I promise you I'm the only one. That was a good dad.
I heard she puts on a hell of a show.
Must have been. I mean, hours long and 3 nights all at Soldier Field in Chicago. My kids were trolling around on the Vivid seats and SeatGeek. And Nothing. I mean,
or anything you'd find you'd expect to be
they were there, but my daughter said, she goes, well, they're supposed to get, we were watching, she's like, well, I'm watching Friday night to see if maybe there's a chance Saturday if we just go down there and hope for that big price drop before the show.
Yeah.
So that big price drop dropped him down to $700 per.
Like, come on.
And it ain't happening. I'm sorry. Sometimes no is an acceptable answer.
It's okay to be disappointed.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My one's still bent out of shape over Shawn Mendes, who didn't come.
Yeah, that's right.
I was going to write Shawn Mendes and say he needed to buy me tickets to T Swift for a make good.
That would have been awesome.
Good luck with that. 6:14. Brandon's got sports next.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Your pain is likely due to a wear and tear process called osteoarthritis. Now, when you combine that with being a little overweight or not being as active as you'd like to be, you get into a downward pain spiral. At Rejuvenex, we control pain by precisely targeting and treating the areas where your pain lives, like shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, with our powerful FDA-approved treatments that cushion and lubricate the affected areas to deliver long-lasting pain relief. Now, like maintenance on a car, to maintain your relief, our team of physicians will follow up with you roughly every 6 to 18 months. My name is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. Rejuvenex is in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief. Really.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The NBA Finals resumed on Sunday night in the Mile High City. Denver looked to take a commanding 2-0 lead, but after being down by double digits in the first half, the Miami Heat stormed back, led by 3 late, with Jamal Murray giving the Nuggets one last chance.
Does have a timeout, but they're not using it. 4 seconds. Murray, step back, 3-pointer. Won't go. Fight for the rebound, Martin, and it's over. The Miami Heat have tied the NBA Finals. What a comeback here on the road for the Heat, and it's one apiece.
Gabe Vincent led Miami in scoring with 23. On the other side, Nikola Jokic led the Nuggets in scoring with 41 in a 111-108 Heat victory. The series now tied at 1 game apiece. Now shifts to Miami for games 3 and 4. Game 3 will be held on Wednesday night. Over to the Diamond, where Adrian Hauser pitched 7 incredible innings, and Andrew Monasterio hit his first career home run, helping lead the Brewers to a 5-1 victory in Cincinnati.
1-0. High fly ball, deep center field. Benson retreating back onto the warning track at the wall. It'll fly! The ball just kept carrying for Andrew Monasterio. A 3-run shot.
Laying Grindle on the call right here on WTMJ. The Brewers are now winners of 3 straight games and 5 of their last 7. Milwaukee will look to add to the win column against the Reds tonight. First pitch is set for 6:10. Our coverage will begin right here on WTMJ at 5:35. And the Green Bay Packers will resume their organized team activities later today in Titletown. Matt LaFleur and company preaching patience for his offense early on.
Well, I think we're just very young at certain spots. And so for, putting together specifically the offense has been a challenge in terms of, just towing that line in terms of what is too much and what is enough we call it, you want to have enough ammo going into a game in order to keep people off balance and whatnot.
The Packers will have OTAs today and tomorrow, and we'll wrap up on June 8th before mandatory minicamp from June 13th to the 15th.
I like that. We're very young at certain spots, like all the spots.
Like everywhere.
Right? Well, what would you say? Running back? Okay.
I would say running back. I would give him offensive line. That's about it.
Left tackle, we're not very young.
Yeah.
Bakhtiari, that's about
everywhere else where it matters.
All of the spots. Coming up, we'll take a look at the week ahead. That's next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
You can have the power of Jeff Wagner. Don't California my Wisconsin. In the palm of your hands, whenever and wherever you want. Maybe we need more than political theater when we're trying to deal with some of the issues that we face today. Just look up the Jeff Wagner Show on Apple, Spotify, the WTMJ app, or wherever you get your podcasts. But at the end of the day, the sun came up this morning, and like I say, your dog still loves you. And don't forget, you can still listen to me live from noon to 3 on WTMJ.
Hey, if you need a new roof, Tri-County Contracting would be proud to put one on for you. But maybe all you need is a little bit of work to make your current roof last. Vince Vitrano here. We've had a lot of snow and ice this winter, already severe weather this spring with hail dropping from the sky. Get Tri-County Contracting on top of your house this spring for a worry-free roof tune-up. Here's the deal. It's one price, $650, no matter the size of your home or roof. Full roof inspection, replacement for missing or damaged shingles. They'll give you fresh caulking and sealing around vents and flashing if that's what you need. It will extend the life of your current roof and give you peace of mind. Call Tri-County Contracting for a worry-free roof tune-up today.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too. Because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach. One who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at accunet.com.
Checking in on the roads here, just about 6:21. What do you have, Deb?
We've got a pretty clear ride shaping up, although volume definitely picking up, especially on northbound 4394. Seen a few more cars out that way. Also on 41 heading southbound towards the zoo. But nothing slowing down just yet. It's just a lot more cars out there. But while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast from meteorologist Brendan Johnson today. We've got a slight chance for a shower. Definitely could use the rain. High of 85 degrees inland, 77 at the lake on our mix of sun and clouds. Tonight, mostly cloudy with still a slight chance for a shower, to low down to 60. Chance for a shower in the morning on Tuesday, then partly sunny with a high of 70. Wednesday and Thursday, both high temperatures in the low 70s and are mostly sunny skies. And mostly sunny once again on Friday with a high of 78. Right now it's 60 in Milwaukee. Great to have you with us early on this Monday morning. Want to get you set for the week. All the news that can be ahead. Some things, of course, we know. We know we don't know some things.
There's always some plan in place, however.
Time to bust the tower.
It's time to look at the week ahead.
Let's go!
Come on.
Let's go.
All right. We'll start with some politics. So this week, we're going to have a few more people throw their hats in the ring for the presidential run on the GOP side. So we've already have a large list of people trying to catch the
Trump
former president.
in, DeSantis in, Haley in.
Yep, she had a big town hall.
Asa Hutchinson in.
Yep. Now we're going to have Christie and Mike Pence announcing this week.
Those undecided voters will soon have more options to choose from. As he hinted, former Vice President Mike Pence is expected to announce his bid for the White House right here in Iowa on Wednesday. And then former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie also expected to enter the race early this week.
Yeah, here we go.
Iowa, beautiful this time of year. A lot of folks spending time there.
Yeah, that's why they're going. Okay, so here locally, a couple of things. So the Democratic state convention is this weekend. It's always in a different spot. Sometimes Madison, sometimes Milwaukee, sometimes Green Bay. I don't know if it's been in La Crosse before, but this year it's in Green Bay. Republicans will hold theirs in a couple of weeks after that. So we'll hear about what they plan on doing to reelect Tammy Baldwin and, of course, President Biden for president. The BRT kicks off today. I mean, technically it was yesterday, but the rapid bus line.
So, yesterday it actually began service, but today is the dog
big
and pony
ceremony,
show.
yeah. So you're going to see lots of dignitaries on hand at 10 a.m. today as they kick off that bus line that is Connect One. So it connects the Regional Medical Center from Tosa to downtown Milwaukee on Wisconsin Avenue.
And don't forget, free to ride through the summer because of a sponsorship deal with MCTS. So costs you nothing to get on and give it a try.
Among the bands or musicians coming to town this week, Death Cab for Cutie, T-Pain, Chance the Rapper, all going to be in the Milwaukee area. The Brewers and Leinenkugel's The Barrel Yard rolling out their newest barrels of beer. These suds will be actually brewed on site at American Family Field. So these will be offered starting tomorrow. Lead Off Lager and Double Play IPA will be your new beer.
Lead Off Lager. All right, that's worth it. And these are the ones that you can only get at the ballpark.
Yep. American Family Field, brewed on site with the pine tar. And I'm just kidding. I don't know what they're putting in.
Orioles coming to town for that first series back to kick off the homestand.
One of the big stories that's going to pop tomorrow that I'm fascinated by this one. I love the technology stuff. So Apple, as you know, occasionally Apple makes seismic shift announcements, right, that are just huge. This could be one tomorrow. Maybe not, we'll see, but maybe just one day from unveiling its most ambitious new hardware product in years at its Worldwide Developers Conference, which kicks off today. Apple widely expected to introduce a mixed reality headset that will offer both virtual reality and augmented reality, a technology that overlays virtual images on live video of the real world.
So if you watch the local weather stations, they have some of that augmented reality, like Niznansky and Kristen Kershane and Brendan Johnson over there at TMJ4. That's where they're like standing somewhere and then things seem to appear out of the ground or whatever. So they're mixing those graphics, not like the old stuff where it's behind them, but where it's like 3D, like around them.
So that's what you would have when you wear this AR/VR headset. It would be Apple's biggest hardware product launch since the debut of the Apple Watch in 2015.
I was going to suggest, like when you were talking about the big rollouts, like what's the last big thing that Apple rolled out? That
Got to
would
be their
it,
watch, right? And like everyone's got, I don't have one, but everyone's got those watches now.
It's been a minute, though, since we've had a big rollout from Apple, like some sort of game changer.
I don't know if I need this, though. Do I need to wear a device that will confuse what's real and what's not?
You don't, no.
I mean, it seems very dangerous. I was just telling you this. You know what it feels like for me? Recently, like I've been like out to the store. I don't know if it's because I'm constantly staring at phones or watching videos that people post and whatnot. There are times when I'm walking, I'm like, am I really here at the store or am I just enjoying this on my couch right now? And I'll just be walking around. Am I that tired?
That's an
Can I do that
overactive
for Little League
imagination
games?
right there.
Dude, but think about that. Like, what if you could get, right? Does that count as being there? You can get someone to send you that live feed of your kid's game.
People do that.
Yeah.
They have it.
There's leagues that do it, yeah.
The 44th annual Locust Street Festival of Music and Art is Sunday. We're getting into it now. Festival season is now here.
Where we'll increasingly come up on those weekends where it's like, oh.
There's always a thing.
Right. If you've got an out-of-town thing and you're like, oh, I'm missing this, and this that I all could have done this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Also, the Water Lantern Festival. I don't know if you've ever been at the Water Lantern Festival.
Where's that, Pewaukee Lake or something?
No, this one's at Veterans Park. A floating lantern event that's all about connections. The magical evening includes food, games, activities, vendors, music, and, of course, I would hope, water lanterns.
Where, like on the lagoon there, maybe?
Yeah. You float them around there and take a look at them?
Yeah, with the incoming waves, they wouldn't float out too far.
No,
Has
you're
to be
right.
the lagoon.
That's among some of the things that are taking place this week.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was up more than 700 points in trading on Friday to 33,763. NASDAQ up nearly 140 to 13. All right, give me another one. To 13,241. And that S&P 500 at 4282, closing Friday, up more than 61 points. Annex Wealth Management, get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Hi, this is WTMJ's Jeff Wagner here to tell you about Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses. If you are looking for affordable, better quality furniture or mattresses, you really have to do what a couple of my family members did. They went to Built Right. When you get to the store, you're going to find a 45,000 square foot showroom with thousands of furniture items in stock plus 500 mattresses. This includes a huge selection of USA and Amish-made furniture plus better quality imported furniture for any size home. Also, check out Built Right's over 48 models of in-stock power lift recliners. Special and custom orders are much faster in 2023. Free in-store design services available too. And now's a great time to get to Built Right as their Memorial Day sale is extended through Saturday. Built Right, voted best place to shop and winner of the Home Furnishings Association's 2023 National Retailer of the Year Award. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday they're closed to be with family. When you get there, be sure to tell them WTMJ's Jeff Wagner sent you to locally and family-owned Built Right, 5430 West Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
The freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 6 to 10.75 ounce Doritos, 8 ounce Munchies, or 6.25 to 7 ounce Sun Chips. Frito-Lay, Doritos, Tortilla Chips, Munchies, or Sun Chips, 2 for $7. 8 to 13.5 ounce package Hostess multi-pack snack cakes, 2 for $6. 40 to 100 count package Vanity Fair napkins, 2 for $5. 16 ounce ice cream or 10.6 to 18 ounce bars or pops, Halo Top ice cream, fruit, Kato, fudge bars, or pops, 2 for $8.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found on the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
It's 6:30. I'm Vince Vitrano. Our top story, F-16 scrambled to intercept a jet near the nation's capital.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Another child killed.
I'm Brandon Snide. Make it 3 in a row for the crew.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Everything's looking great out on the roads with that heavier volume. All moving well. Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Mix of sun and clouds today with a slight chance of a shower. 85 degrees your high temperature, a bit cooler near the lake. Right now it's 61.
A sonic boom over Washington. It was heard by a lot of people this weekend. Happened when military fighter jets were scrambled because of a plane that had strayed into restricted territory near the U.S. Capitol. Here's ABC's Martha Raddatz.
The U.S. military quickly launching 6 F-16 fighter jets from 3 bases to track the plane as it headed south into Virginia. The 2 F-16s over Washington reaching supersonic speed to catch up with the Cessna jet, creating that sonic boom that reverberated across the region.
The plane eventually went down of its own accord in Virginia. All 4 people on board were killed. A close call between a Chinese warship and an American destroyer. The U.S. increasingly worried, officials say, about what they think was an aggressive action on the part of the Chinese. Death toll from the crash of 3 trains in India believed to be 275. Hundreds more suffered injuries. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Saturday Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, the bus rapid transit line is now in operation. TMJ4's Elaine Rojas Castillo has more on Connect One.
The new 9-mile east-west route will run from the Milwaukee Regional Medical Center in Wauwatosa to downtown and feature 11 electric buses, elevated bus stations, and new technology. Daytime buses will arrive every 10 minutes on weekdays and every 15 minutes on the weekends. Buses will arrive every 20 to 30 minutes during the evenings. MCTS leaders say the hope is that with its added resources, people consider this as a bus station rather than a bus stop.
The bus line kicked off Sunday. Today, city, county, and federal leaders all set to hold a ribbon-cutting ceremony. That'll be at 10 o'clock this morning.
Milwaukee police searching for a suspect believed to have shot and killed a 1-year-old child in Milwaukee. This is the 10th murder of a child in the city so far this year. Police say it happened Saturday night near 19th at Atkinson. The toddler shot inside a vehicle by a known suspect during an argument between adults. The girl identified as Zaire Nevels.
A triple shooting at a Mount Pleasant convenience store Saturday night. According to TMJ4 News, Mount Pleasant police say 3 people were shot, 22nd and Meade. 1 person treated at a nearby hospital, 2 taken to Frederick for serious injuries. Police investigating the shooting as an attempted homicide.
The Forest County Potawatomi community purchasing land near Oconomowoc. That land coming from a local Boy Scouts council. The Milwaukee Business Journal's Mark Cass.
Real interesting move here. It's like 300 acres out west. No specific thing for it yet. In other areas of the community, they've done office parks, they've done other type of things, but they're really not saying. They've been upgrading the casino right here in Milwaukee.
This is the Potawatomi's second recent purchase after buying more than 20 acres of land in Kenosha County earlier this year.
Nashville North, Milwaukee becoming a booming market for country music.
George Strait already made Brewers history as the first music headliner when Miller Park opened in 2001. Now he's set a new concert attendance record for the stadium. According to Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, the king of country music bested Paul McCartney's record by a few thousand people at Saturday's American Family Field show with openers Chris Stapleton and Little Big Town. This comes after Morgan Wallen became the first artist to headline 2 consecutive nights at the Brewers Stadium in April. Strait has more top 10 songs on the Billboard country charts than any other artist. Jessica Gatzo, WTMJ News.
Coming up, painful times coming to the pump. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Welcome to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. May I take your order?
I'd like 9 windows, please.
Of course. All our products are custom made just for you.
I'm hoping they'll match my home.
Of course they can. Have it your way.
Excuse me? We're talking about windows, right?
Yes, we customize any decor. Our design options are virtually limitless, even more customized than your coffee.
So you're like my personal barista for windows and doors.
Exactly. And you couldn't have picked a better time because if you customize your order by August 31st, you can bundle and save big.
Good deal. That was easy.
Thank you. Drive through.
Pella's premium wood windows and patio doors feature distinguished craftsmanship and nearly endless possibilities. Bundle and save when you customize your order by August 31st at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
What if you could build a 6-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a 6-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
The new Raid Essentials Light Trap uses light to attract, then trap flying insects like fruit flies and mosquitoes. For insecticide protection that's people and pet friendly, get new Raid Essential Light Trap.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Brewers go for the sweep in Cincy. Brandon Snyder has sports at 6:45.
Just as summer is nearly here, a warning that gas prices could be on the rise even more.
Saudi Arabia says it will reduce how much oil it sends to the global economy. Starting in July, the country will cut 1 million barrels per day. They say they're doing it to, quote, bring stability to the market. This will be the 3rd cut, and all told, OPEC Plus has now dropped production on paper by 4.6 million barrels a day. Experts say this new cut would likely push up oil prices in the short term, but the impact after that would depend on whether Saudi Arabia decides to extend it. Matt Piper, CBS News.
In Wisconsin, the average price for a gallon of regular right now is $3.44.
Officials in India say they have now identified the cause of the weekend's massive and deadly train crash. Jerica Duncan with CBS News.
India's rail minister said it appears a malfunctioning signal is to blame for the country's worst train disaster in decades. It caused 2 passenger trains to change tracks and slam into a freight train. The trains were carrying more than 2,200 people. Nearly 300 of them were killed and nearly 1,000 were injured.
A Hollywood union reaching a deal, but it's not the union you've been hearing about.
The Directors Guild of America reached a new 3-year deal with Hollywood studios. It increases wages, streaming residuals, scales back hours, and more. The DGA began negotiations with studios last month amid the ongoing Writers Guild strike, which is now in its 5th week. It's unclear what effect, if any, the DGA tentative new agreement will have on the striking writers, and the SAG-AFTRA union could soon be in the same boat. That union begins contract talks with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers on Wednesday, and its contract expires at the end of the month. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Yeah, and on the writer's strike, just no movement, no news coming out of there.
Haven't heard much at all.
Hey, we're close on this, or we're far, nothing.
I feel like the only time I ever hear anything is, hey, look, this group came out and played a little concert for the strikers, or here, someone brought donuts. Hey, look at Drew Carey, brought him popsicles. It's always some story like that.
Right, nothing substantive about any movement one way or another. 6:38 coming up, Prince Harry in court. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
RJ Schinner has several Toshiba copier printers from James Imaging Systems. IT manager Gabe Colasari.
The reason why for James Imaging is their responsiveness, dedication, knowledge of the product, and they always make sure that the customer is taken care of.
The kind of customer service you'd expect from a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company like James Imaging Systems.
We actually have a high-end printing machine on site, so we produce our own catalogs, so we need the support to handle that.
James Imaging Systems, better document imaging technology, better service.
When we've got a problem, we're able to call in and get it rectified or corrected without any issues.
Gabe, any advice to other local businesses?
Contact James. They'll take care of you.
James Imaging Systems, reliable document imaging technology, extraordinary local service. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Traffic is sponsored by Miller Mobility, equipping seniors to remain living at home. Mention this ad and save 10% on stair lifts, scooters, lift chairs, bathroom safety, and more at Miller Mobility's Customer Appreciation Sale, June 9th and 10th. MillerMobility.com.
Checking in with Debbie here at 20 to 7.
All right, still looking pretty good out there. East and westbound 94 filling in even more with volume, but everybody's moving along at a good clip. Don't really have any delays or incidents up on the board. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a mix of sunshine and cloud cover, a slight chance of a shower, highs in the upper 70s at the lakefront, mid-80s farther inland. Tonight, a slight chance of a shower, mostly cloudy, lows dipping to around 60 degrees. An early shower on Tuesday, partly sunny with highs around 70, mostly sunny for Wednesday and Thursday with highs in the low 70s, and we'll see more sunshine for Friday with a high of 78. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Stuck on 60 degrees this morning. .641 on Wisconsin's Morning News. If you follow the Royals, there's all sorts of fallout. Prince Harry and his relationship with the late Queen and his father and his brother and all these things. And on a lot of those, Eric, the more I read, the more I come down not so much in the camp of Prince Harry. What's your play here? What's happening here?
And I have wondered oftentimes whether or not he has the right PR strategist. Because I don't know if he comes off as sympathetic to anyone.
That's exactly right. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but that's not how it comes off to me.
Right.
But in this particular case where Prince Harry's going to be in court,
yes,
I'm with him 100%.
This one is going to be juicy, too. This is something to get excited about. Yes, so let's get to it. Royal news.
All right.
So this is why I love this stuff, because for me, no one's dead. There's no tragedy here other than, he's going after the basically the tabloids that have gone after him for all these years.
Yes,
So it's
right.
mano a mano. It's juice against juice. And he is actually going to take the stand this week.
Tomorrow, Prince Harry becomes the first British royal in 120 years to testify in a court of law, leveling his accusations of illegal phone hacking by the Mirror tabloid newspapers.
I don't think anyone will get out looking great.
Yeah, so basically, no one's going to look great. Basically, they're not happy with how the Mirror and some of these other tabloids have gotten information and like hacked into phones and done all this stuff. So there's been a lot of people involved in this.
Yeah.
But Harry is just one of them. So he's going to testify, and it could be awful. Like, it could be very awkward for him to testify on a lot of this stuff. And some of it may be even things before he even met Meghan. So, like, remember when he was, like, caught naked running around in Vegas and all that stuff?
Yeah, right.
Like, all of that will probably come up, all these very embarrassing moments. And
I guess if you're him, though, like, it's already out there, man.
Yeah.
Might as well. Go ahead. Ask me what you want to ask me.
And his point is he just wants to make it clear that, you know, he's on a crusade to stop what he believes has ruined his life, his young life especially. The fact that there was constantly this hacking / tabloid attention /
Well, let me make clear, too. I'm not against the media doing its job. Obviously. There are stories to tell, and important people get coverage, and, you know, what's out there and what you can find out is fair game. You can't be illegally hacking people's phones.
Right. Here's a little bit more.
I'm Vicky Barker in London. Dozens of photographers and reporters began staking out the courthouse hours before the phone hacking trial was to resume. Harry's among a group of celebrities accusing the Mirror Group newspapers of illegally hacking their phones. The Mirror has admitted phone hacking in the past, but insists all the stories Harry's suing over were obtained through legal means.
If I may, just a little bit of hacking. There may have been some hacking, but not a lot of hacking.
Perhaps a picture or two.
It was. We didn't hack Harry. It was other hacking.
So tomorrow, we'll bring you the juice tomorrow.
You're most out of order, Your Honor. Most out of order.
I want some back and forth. I want some, like, bickering. I want Harry to yell at the lawyer.
You want some pointing?
Yes, I want a finger point or two. I want tea to be spilled tomorrow.
If I may, counselor, you're out of line. 6:44.
Do they wear the wigs? Will Harry have to have a wig on?
Yeah, you would think.
No, he wouldn't.
No.
He doesn't wear them.
Just the officials of the court.
Right?
The barristers, as it were.
Yes, thank you, David.
Well, the barristers. Very well, then. Brandon Snide has sports. The sport coming up next.
Hey, it's 620 WTMJ's Brian Z for Oconomowoc Dental Care and my guy, Dr. James Michaels. You know, summer is finally here. It's time to get ready for that warm weather. Graduations, weddings, all the travel plans that come with summer, plus your upcoming family events and all those photos and videos you're going to be taking. Make sure you have that best smile on display. Schedule your routine cleaning with my guy, Dr. Michaels. At Oconomowoc Dental Care, they're always going to make you as comfortable as possible when you're in the chair and give both you and your family an amazing smile. So whether it's a simple cleaning and exam, a more complex procedure, a teeth whitening, an implant, Dr. Michaels and the team at Oconomowoc Dental Care will take great care of you just like they take great care of me. At Oconomowoc Dental Care, affordable quality dentistry is no longer a dream. It's the reality. Dr. Michaels' fantastic staff can help you out with a no-interest payment plan. We all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Go see my guy, Dr. James Michaels at Oconomowoc Dental Care. Call his friendly and caring staff today and make your appointment.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The NBA Finals resumed Sunday night in the Mile High City as Miami stormed back in the second half, defeating the Denver Nuggets in Game 2 by a final score of 111-108. The series, now tied at 1 apiece, now shifts to Miami for Games 3 and 4. Adrian Hauser pitched 7 strong innings, and Andrew Monasterio hit his first career homer, helping the Brewers to a 5-1 victory Sunday afternoon against Cincinnati. Milwaukee will look to add to the win column today against the Reds. First pitch is set for 6:10. The Milwaukee Admirals face elimination tonight after dropping Game 5 on Saturday in Milwaukee to Coachella Valley. The Ads and Firebirds are set for a Game 6, 7 p.m. puck drop in Palm Springs.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's morning news. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Brewers have been on quite the roller coaster so far this season. Craig's crew started out hot, winning 14 of their first 19 games. Since then, though, a little bit of a cool down. They have gone 18-22. I wouldn't blame the turn of records, though, on the play on the field, although it hasn't been lights out. The Brewers have battled literally on the diamond. The Brewers first lost Garrett Mitchell to a likely season-ending shoulder injury, and unfortunately, that was just the start of it. Brandon Woodruff, Wade Miley, Eric Lauer, Willie Adames, Darren Ruff, Sal Frelick, Jesse Winker. It sounds like that's the starting lineup, but that was just a quick glance at the injury report for the Milwaukee Brewers. Look, the bottom line, folks want results and fans expect wins. The Brewers, well, as of late, they have given both winners of 3 straight and 5 of their last 7 games, all of which have been on the road, and still, despite all those injuries, the top dog in the National League Central Division. Winning 14 of their first 19 games was undoubtedly fun, but given the amount of injuries I just laid out, this is by far the Brewers' most impressive stretch of the season.
When severe weather strikes, you can count on WTMJ's Fleet Farm severe weather coverage to keep you safe and informed.
Tornado warnings in effect for Jefferson and Walworth counties.
I'm on Highway 11 now. For the last 5 minutes or so, it's been just an immense lightning storm.
If you're in Delavan, go to a place of shelter now.
Severe weather coverage on WTMJ. Sponsored by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for LAK Group. You know what, I was thinking of leaving TV after 25 years doing the same thing and then doing something entirely different. I sought a lot of advice from people I trust, among them Mike Grubich, president at LAK Group. You find yourself at a career crossroads? Maybe you're wondering if you're on the right path? LAK Group's Career Fit program might be exactly what you need. No matter where you are in your career, there's always opportunity to change or to grow. LAK Group will work with you to develop a roadmap, help you realize your true mission, reach your full potential, discover renewed meaning in your life and career. Find out more about Career Fit. Visit transformingcareers.com. LAK Group, discover your human advantage.
Outdoor living is more important than ever, and Trees on the Move would like to give you ideas to beautify your yard. Landscape design, retaining walls, patios, patio pavers, landscaping, tree trimming, driveways, and more. Trees on the Move is your complete landscape contractor, commercial and residential. Spruce up your front yard, backyard, or your business this year. Be the envy of your neighborhood with Trees on the Move, your complete landscape contractor.
Planning to planting, Trees on the Move.
In Wisconsin, making memories together is for everyone, whatever your ability. So here's to soaking up surf culture right here on Wisconsin's Fresh Coast. To making time for stargazing as a family. And to imaginations cleared for takeoff. Here's to festies with besties. And singing along to your favorite song. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in on the morning drive here. What do you have, Debbie?
Starting to get a little bit heavier now on 41 northbound, north of Wisconsin Avenue, heading up towards Watertown Plank Road. Things filling in on westbound 94 out of the Stadium interchange as well. 41 and 43 southbound, both looking pretty good through the construction zones. And along the bypass also, so far, so good. Hey, be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents and slowdowns and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast is sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Pretty solid 5 days here, unless you're looking for rain like we all are, but not a lot of it in the Storm Team forecast. A mix of sun and clouds for today with a slight chance for a shower. High of 77 at the lake, 85 inland. That slight chance for a shower lingers into tonight under mostly cloudy skies and a low down to 60. And chance for a shower in the morning on Tuesday, partly sunny skies and a high of 70. Then we got mostly sunny Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday and Thursday, high temperatures in the low 70s. Friday's high, 78 degrees. 61 right now in Milwaukee.
I've got to leave before I start to scream. For someone at the door and
6:52 on this Monday morning. What a tremendous honor it was this weekend to participate in the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation Vince Lombardi Golf Classic. 2 days of golf at North Hills Country Club, and then a gala on Friday night, all to raise money for the foundation. Our teammate from 101.7 The Truth, Telly Hughes, in the house with us, part of our foursome, or sixsome, actually, as it was.
Right?
Sixsome.
Saturday.
Holy cow.
We had the extraordinary group.
Well,
yes.
I suppose.
So what had happened with that, Eric, was Greg Matzik, our teammate here at Wisconsin's Afternoon News, put together the group. He's on the golf committee that helps plan this, what was the 51st annual, really significant event that's raised millions of dollars for cancer research over the years. So Greg was in charge of a lot of the activities that went down.
Sure.
And he put together this group, Telly, me, Stephen Watson, who fills in here from time to time in the afternoon and sports, and also with Bally Sports, Gabe Neitzel from ESPN Milwaukee, myself, Greg played, and then Tony Smith was our celebrity golfer. Right?
Oh, okay.
Although the photographer didn't know that Tony was our celebrity, and so it was time for us to take our picture. I was thinking about this. It was so crazy because the photographer is like, all right, Telly, you stand in the middle and everyone get around you. And so I'm listening, and Tony was like, Telly, you need to move. And I'm like, you're not holding the camera. Like, so why are you telling me to move? And then it dawned on me. He was like, dude, you're not the celebrity. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then so
But then afterwards, T. Smith being T. Smith, he's like, no, Telly, you're good. No, you just stand. No, that's fine.
Exactly.
So that's how we took the picture. There's Telly in the middle, and the rest of us clowns all around him, including Tony Smith,
standing
NBA
in the back.
superstar, in the background.
Yeah, so I was not the celebrity, but yeah, it was crazy. But it was a good time, though. It really was.
I am curious, who is the best golfer of the group?
Wow. Look. You're not looking at either one of them. I tell you that.
Telly and I kind of contributed equally in that we had our share.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it was minimal, but we were serviceable.
Parts. Yeah. Equal parts brilliant in spots and horrifying in others. We're like, wow, I don't belong here, and I'm glad there's no one watching.
And I don't belong in the same group as Stephen Watson and Gabe Neitzel and Tony Smith, because those guys can really play.
Yeah, they can swing.
Yes.
So if you know golf, like Gabe and Stephen also so long off the tee that it's an entirely different game.
Yes.
It's like the rich get richer, because if they're good off the tee, we had a wedge in our hand into every green. I'm like, well, I could play this game. I could just start here.
No 150-yard plus shots? Like, this is awesome.
I could play this.
So what other celebrities were there? Anyone big? Any big names?
It was great to see Uke out there.
Yes.
Bob Uke was out there, and he played a whole round of golf with our friends from Crete Trucking, David and Adam and his family, and Roger Crete. They are going to be the title sponsors moving forward. Our buddy Dave Spano from Annex Wealth Management has been that title sponsor for the event.
Yeah.
It's a significant outlay and contribution that they've made, and Crete's going to take the mantle from take the torch, if you will, from them moving forward. And you played with them. Looked good.
Yes, it looked good. And other celebrities. Jordy Nelson was there.
Oh, cool.
Greg Vaughn was in town. Sean Clifford.
Did Jordy's group win? Or they were up there? Because Jordy can golf.
They were up there, yes. I don't know.
No, it was O'Donnell's group, right?
Yes. O'Donnell's group had 15 under. That's still kind of questionable.
Some pretty good golf. Man, you can't cheat in a charity event.
You can't?
I was going to say, I think it's happened.
I thought at 12 under we were pretty decent until we got into the clubhouse.
I talked a little bit with Ryan Longwell, former longtime punter for the Green Bay Packers.
Kicker.
It was really good to catch up with him. And what's interesting is, I mean, not for nothing, folks, look at that and say, well, it must be nice for these guys to come in and play golf for free or whatever. Well, they donate their time, and things are taken care of to get them there. But how busy some of these guys still are. I mean, Longwell is helping with Cal to work with their kicking unit, and that's where he went to school. That's his alma mater. He's got that. He's got younger kids there. My kid's in this, my kid's in that. Like, he was in that morning, out by 5 o'clock that afternoon, on to something else. So these guys do, offer their celebrity to bring attention to the event, and I think it's really worth thanking them for.
Yes, it's one of the best charity events I know I participate in, and just everyone's participation and engagement. It's not, like you said, Vince, it's not just people showing up, playing golf, and like, all right, it's been fun, and like these people give their time, and like they not only just show up, but they are engaging with the people that are paid big money to be a part of this event. So it is one of the best ones I think I've ever been a part of.
And then also Telly and I were there.
Yes. Right.
So that's
the celebrities
in the room.
Yeah, and also we were there.
Right.
Great to be with you this weekend. Thanks,
Good to
Steve.
see you, man.
Business headlines are sponsored by Old National Bank. Get old. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Rich Kirchen.
Giannis Antetokounmpo recently rang the New York Stock Exchange closing bell for a fund in which he partners. Now he and his brothers establish a company, Anti-Incorporated, for their business ventures. The Republican National Committee leases office space at the Associated Bank River Center downtown for housing the staff at the 2024 National Convention in Milwaukee. Diane Hendricks of ABC Supply in Beloit again tops Forbes' list of America's richest self-made women. Joining her this year is Elizabeth Eline of Uline Incorporated and Judy Faulkner of Epic Systems. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Old National Bank is asking everyone to get old. But first, people have questions.
Will it take me years to get old?
No, getting old can literally happen in minutes.
Is getting old like a complicated process?
Not at all. Just stop into one of our banking centers or visit our website. We even have an app for that.
Will I look any different after I get old?
You may look happier and more relaxed with a banking partner like us.
Definitely want to get old.
Introducing Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, WTMJ's John Rourke here. When it comes to memory care and assisted living, you want a team that knows compassion and empathy. That's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I know, my grandma was in assisted living. I have an aunt, one of my favorite aunts, right now in memory care. At Azura, they specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They provide additional daily living assistance for those with cognitive decline. 14 locations in Wisconsin, AzuraLiving.com, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. The teams I trust are at Azura. AzuraLiving.com.
Don't you just love the WTMJ Fix-It show? Hi, this is Matt Elliott from Elliott's Ace Hardware. When you think Fix-It, first you think about Saturday mornings on WTMJ. Then you got to be thinking Elliott's Ace Hardware. Where else can you find such great staff, big brands, and all the stuff, and I'm talking all the stuff, to get your Fix-It done? So enjoy the WTMJ Fix-It show on Saturday morning. And then head to Elliott's Ace in Elm Grove, West Dallas, Pewaukee, and Muskego.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
What's better than the look and feel of real leather? The amazing prices at Steinhafels.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Monday, June 5th. Our top story, fighter jets scrambled near D.C.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A 1-year-old girl becomes the 10th child killed in Milwaukee this year.
I'm Brandon Snide. Make it 3 in a row for the crew.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Everything's looking pretty good. A little bit heavy on northbound 41 now. Got about a minute's worth of a delay from Wisconsin Avenue up past Watertown Plank Road. Southbound 43 looking pretty good. Northbound slowing down a little bit right through the Capitol Drive area. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Mix of sun and clouds today in your Storm Team forecast. Just a slight chance of a much-needed rain shower. High of 85 degrees inland, 77 at the lake. That shower chance lingers into tonight under mostly cloudy skies. With a low down to 60, we're at 61 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, no survivors after that wayward plane caused a military jet alert around Washington, D.C. That private jet eventually crashed in Virginia.
I'm Tom Foti. Following an air and ground search in mountainous terrain near Montebello, Virginia, responders reached the site of the small plane crash on foot. They found no survivors. This was about 5 hours after a military intercepted the Cessna business plane as it mysteriously flew in restricted airspace here in the capital region following an unplanned turn over New York's Long Island. The supersonic military catch-up caused a loud sonic boom heard throughout much of this area, with no sign of a response from the pilot of the small plane as it flew on to rural Virginia, where it crashed. Tom Foti, CBS News, Washington.
The bus rapid transit line is now in operation. The east-west line on Wisconsin Avenue, connecting the regional medical complex in Wauwatosa to the Milwaukee lakefront. It started on Sunday. It's called Connect One. This couple from Washington State among those on the inaugural ride.
I heard it on Reddit. She heard it on Reddit, so just following her lead, and then we came out down this way. So I think Google kind of led us down this way, so we're like, cool, straight path to the venue that we're going to.
The electric bus currently free to ride. A ribbon-cutting ceremony going to take place later this morning.
Still looking for the person believed to have shot and killed a 1-year-old girl in Milwaukee, the 10th murder of a child in the city so far this year. Police say this happened Saturday night, 19th and Atkinson. The girl was inside a vehicle and was shot by a known suspect during an argument that had broken out between other adults. The child, identified as Zaire Nevels. A triple shooting at a Mount Pleasant convenience store. That was Saturday night. And according to TMJ4 News, Mount Pleasant police reporting 3 people shot, 22nd and Meade. All 3 are being treated at the hospital.
Minor league soccer may not be coming to Wisconsin anytime soon. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting a proposal to provide state funds to help pay for a downtown stadium in Bruce City in the Iron District is now dead. State Legislature's Joint Finance Committee rejected Governor Evers' proposal to include more than $9 million for that project. It'd be a $45 million deal. Casmeric Enterprises wants to bring a soccer team to Milwaukee, and a Pro Soccer LLC. Just a few weeks ago, it launched a contest for the public to vote on potential team names.
2024 race for the Republican presidential nomination heating up this week. Several high-profile GOP names expected to officially make big announcements. ABC's Rhiannon Ally.
Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is expected to announce he's running for president tomorrow, followed by a similar announcement by former Vice President Mike Pence on Wednesday. Nearly every Republican running for president spending the weekend in Iowa, appearing at a rally at the state fairgrounds near Des Moines.
Former President Donald Trump, the leading Republican presidential candidate, not there after spending 2 days in the state last week.
U.S. military now releasing video of what it calls an unsafe Chinese maneuver in the Taiwan Strait over the weekend. CBS correspondent Cameron McCormick.
A Chinese vessel cut sharply across the path of an American destroyer, forcing the U.S. vessel to slow down to avoid a collision. It occurred Saturday as Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was in Singapore along with the Chinese defense minister. The U.S. had asked for a formal meeting. The Chinese refused. The U.S. has voiced concern. These incidents raise the risk of a possible accident and escalation between the two countries.
Coming up, Spidey wins again. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:04.
The year is almost half over and you are still dealing with that knee or hip pain, right? Enough is enough. Pills are not the answer, and neither is surgery. You need to call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. The advanced regenerative medicine solutions at QC Kinetics can give you a life without chronic joint pain. You can do all those summer activities you used to enjoy. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in taking healing properties from your own body and applying them right to your achy joint, so your joint tissue can be repaired and restored naturally. The treatment is revolutionary, and it's right here in Milwaukee. Patients across America are having life-changing results, and there's no drugs or surgery or downtime. If you have pain in your knees, back, shoulders, hips, you got to stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can give you your life back. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Here's to the farm and fleet dads, the ones who work hard and get the job done right, the ones who take pride in what they do and take the time to pass it on. This Father's Day, get your dad a gift he'll love, like men's Carhartt Force short-sleeved pocket tees, 25% off. Get $20 instant savings on a 21-inch Craftsman self-propelled mower. Assorted Fizzcars, axes, sledges, and malls, 10% off. And save $90 on a Charbroil Performance 4-burner gas grill.
Find value at Glenn's Farm and Fleet.
The 2017 tax cuts are set to expire. There's limited time to ensure your financial plan is making the most of our current low-tax environment. At Creative Planning, we'll help you get ahead of coming tax changes with a financial plan and portfolio specifically designed to help you keep more of your hard-earned money. To see how your plan would look, we're offering you a free wealth path analysis. Head to creativeplanning.com/radio to request your free plan. Act fast. This offer is only available till Monday at midnight.
Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors. Certainty Diamond Level Select Shingle Masters. The best of the best. That's why you could feel confident in choosing us to install your new roof.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Brewers go for the sweep in Cincinnati. Haven't said something like that in a while. Brandon Snide has sports coming up at 7:15.
A phone hacking trial in Britain involving Prince Harry resumes today.
I'm Vicky Barker in London. Dozens of photographers and reporters began staking out the courthouse hours before the phone hacking trial was to resume. Harry's among a group of celebrities accusing the Mirror Group newspapers of illegally hacking their phones. The Mirror has admitted phone hacking in the past, but insists all the stories Harry's suing over were obtained through legal means.
And Harry is expected to testify tomorrow.
Park rangers at Yellowstone issuing a new warning for visitors, begging them to respect the area's natural residents after a slew of close encounters put both humans and animals at serious risk. ABC's Derek Dennis.
Park officials say there's been a series of frightening close encounters at Yellowstone, including 2 tourists under investigation for grabbing a baby elk. And last month, a man from Hawaii charged with intentionally disturbing wildlife after handling a newborn bison. Also surfacing online, a Yellowstone tourist taking a selfie next to a bison, and another video near Old Faithful showing a bison charging at a family. The father gored, trying to save his son. A statement from Yellowstone says some actions by visitors have led to the endangerment of people and wildlife and resulted in the death of wildlife.
It's an even bigger opening than expected for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
There's an elite crew with all the best Spider people in it.
It's a $120.5 million domestic debut for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That's more than $30 million more than the top pre-release estimate for the animated sequel, the second biggest opening of the year after the Super Mario Brothers movie, and 3.5 times the 2018 original's opening gross. The live-action The Little Mermaid remake slips to second in week 2, with the horror flick The Boogeyman opening in third. Christopher Watson, ABC News.
Coming up, a sonic boom and a crash outside D.C. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Integrity. Your home's integrity depends on the roof, on the windows and doors, on the siding. When your home's integrity fails you, you need the people who won't. Siding Unlimited. The dad started a siding company, called it Siding Unlimited, brought up sons Eric and Aaron Brown to be trustworthy, to value their own integrity, and after college to take over the Siding Unlimited biz. The boys expanded Siding Unlimited beyond siding to windows and doors, roofs and decks. Your home's integrity factors. Now you can buy those things from lots of people, but I wouldn't. I value the integrity of Eric, Aaron, and the talented American craftsmen that are the Siding Unlimited team. And I'm not just their spokesman. I'm a Siding Unlimited customer. Reliable, truthful, talented, and trustworthy. Winners of many industry awards and customer accolades. They are SidingUnlimited.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Checking in on the roads here. Debbie, what do you have?
We've got a pretty good ride shaping up right now. We're not seeing too many delays at all. Full freeway speeds, with one exception on 41 northbound. Your usual delays there right out of the Wisconsin Avenue area past almost to Swan Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a mix of sunshine and cloud cover, a bit of wildfire smoke still around, a slight chance of a shower with highs in the upper 70s at the lakefront, mid-80s farther inland. Tonight, a slight chance of a shower, mostly cloudy with lows dipping to around 60 degrees. Outside of an early shower on Tuesday, it's partly sunny with a high of 70. Mostly sunny for Wednesday and Thursday with highs in the low 70s, and will climb close to 80 degrees on Friday with a mostly sunny sky. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, Milwaukee temp at 61.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Listen closely to this sound. This was recorded on a security camera at a home in suburban Washington, D.C. So this is Fairfax County, Virginia. Yeah, kind of tough to tell there, but that boom or set of booms there posted to Twitter by a guy who heard the sound of fighter jets that went supersonic working to intercept that plane in the D.C. area where the pilot was unresponsive and had drifted into concerning airspace around the Capitol. So, when a jet reaches the speed of sound, it creates that sonic boom.
Yeah.
And that was heard all over the D.C. metro as these fighters were scrambled. You don't hear a lot of it, not that there's not aircraft activity. We have training missions and all sorts of things. But, Eric, you flew with the Thunderbirds. I flew with the Blue Angels. And I remember when I got up there with my guy, I'm like, hey, let's go. Mach 1. Do it. Fire away. He's like, I can't. You can't just do that. For obvious reasons, it freaks people out. It's generally not necessary, even when you're in training, unless you're really out over the airspace where that sort of thing is allowed. But over residential areas, you don't want fighter jets screaming around.
Right.
And it was really unsettling. So folks took right away to try and explain what was happening. These jets had been scrambled in the D.C. metro to intercept a corporate jet, if you will. It's a twin-engine Cessna. So think of what you would think of a number of seats on this jet, and it's got two engines on either side. They're really nice. ABC's Andrew Dimbert tells us what this was all about.
The sound was caused by two D.C. Air National Guard F-16s that were scrambled from Maryland after a Cessna business jet entered restricted airspace over the nation's capital. Around 3 p.m., those F-16s going supersonic to catch up with the Cessna, creating a sonic boom heard in D.C. and surrounding areas. The Capitol and White House were both briefly placed on high alert.
So on board was a family. The man who runs the Florida-based company where that jet is owned told the Washington Post it was his daughter, a 2-year-old granddaughter, her nanny, and the pilot all on the flight. And he said they were returning home to Long Island, New York after a visit to North Carolina and the home there. So what freaked people out is they were close to their destination there on Long Island.
Right.
And then all of a sudden the jet turned around.
So what do you think that is? If it was the hypoxia, is it just falling on the steering wheel?
Yeah, it immediately reminded me of a story from years ago, similar situation. These jets can fly high enough where you need to have a pressurized cabin, where just like when you fly commercial, right, the cabin is pressurized.
Yeah.
And if that pressurization fails, it can cause what Eric just mentioned, hypoxia. Let me give you ABC's Dimbert again on that.
Aviation experts say hypoxia may have incapacitated the pilot and those on board. The incident bringing to mind the 1999 crash that killed champion golfer Payne Stewart and 5 others after the pilots and passengers became unresponsive. That plane was flying from Orlando to Dallas, but crashed when it ran out of fuel over South Dakota.
So that is not confirmed, but certainly appears to be the prevailing theory at the moment.
Because there is no response from the plane.
And no other reason to assume why would this jet have turned around. This is a family on board here, and right when you can't raise the pilot, and I don't know if they were able to make visual, but I know in the Payne Stewart situation years ago, I feel like those fighter jet pilots that intercepted it said we could see the guy, we could see the pilot, and we couldn't raise him. No response whatsoever, and they assumed that was happening. In fact, they thought I recall in that case they saw there was ice crystals like on the windows or things like that, which again would be that indicator. So not confirmed yet, but that appears to be the theory at the moment. Again, 4 dead tragically, including that 2-year-old little girl. Sports is brought to you by Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc, your destination dealer.
Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc is ready for summer. It is packed with all kinds of fun, whether you're a rider or not. From rides to bike nights, there's always something for everyone. Don't forget, the 120th Homecoming Festival is this year, July 13th through the 16th, with 45 vendors, 23 bands, and of course, Harley-Davidsons. You won't want to miss it. Like and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and online at wishd.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for 911 Heating and Air. No sales team, they don't need one. Fixed pricing is listed right on the website, so there is no hidden cost to you. They're experts at affordably overhauling your home's existing AC unit, saving you money. A passion for the craft, the warranty and guarantee, all work done. 143 Google reviews, 4.9 stars. It's 911 Heating and Air, that's who I trust. 911heatusa.com or call 414-HEATING, that's 414-HEATING.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Staring at a possible 2-0 hole, Miami turned on the Heat in Game 2, storming back in the second half and taking down the Denver Nuggets by a final of 111-108 in Game 2.
Let's have a timeout, but they're not using it. 4 seconds. Murray, step back, three-pointer. Won't go. Fight for the rebound, Martin, and it's over. The Miami Heat have tied the NBA Finals. What a comeback here on the road for the Heat, and it's one apiece.
Mike Breen on the call for ESPN as Gabe Vincent, who led the Heat in scoring with 23, helped complete the comeback on the road. The series, now tied at 1 game apiece, now shifts to Miami for Games 3 and 4. Game 3 will be held on Wednesday night. The Green Bay Packers will be back on the practice field later today for Block 3 of their organized team activities. The vibes right now, they're good in Titletown, and the talk of a rebuild isn't something Christian Watson or the team is willing to buy.
I definitely feel like it's the crutch that everyone wants to lean on outside of the facility, not knowing what's going on in here. It's easy to say that, they lost, Aaron, it's going to be, a down year or whatever. I feel like that's just the easy route to take, but that's none of our mentality in here. We're never trying to, think of it as, a rebuild or whatever people want to, say it is. Our goal each and every year is to, win the North and make the playoffs and win a Super Bowl.
The Packers will have OTAs today and tomorrow, and will wrap up on June 8th before mandatory minicamp from June 13th to the 15th. The Milwaukee Brewers are now winners of 3 straight in 4 of their last 5 games, and Sunday the winning continued behind 7 fantastic innings from starter Adrian Hauser and a career milestone for Andrew Monasterio.
1-0. High fly ball, deep center field. Benson retreating back onto the warning track at the wall. It'll fly! The ball just kept carrying for Andrew Monasterio. A 3-run shot.
Lane Grindle on the call right here on WTMJ as Monasterio hit his first big league homer as the Brewers go on for the 5-1 victory. Milwaukee will look to complete the 4-game sweep against the Reds in Cincinnati tonight. Our coverage will begin right here on WTMJ at 5:35. And lastly, the Milwaukee Admirals face elimination tonight after dropping Game 5 on Saturday night to Coachella Valley. The Ads and Firebirds are set for a Game 6, 7 p.m. puck drop in Palm Springs.
Coming up next, a real live human who already rode the Magic Bus. Jason Smith, fresh off his ride on Connect One, joins us next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I got no FOMO for your show, Mo.
See the world from his perspective.
The chutzpah on this guy to bring ribs onto the plane and then eat them. I can't think of anything worse.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
I like a little mayo on the broccoli.
Oh,
it's actually bad, though.
What are you, French?
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers. Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. My wife and I ordered a new patio door. Can't come soon enough. I broke the handle off my old door the other day.
What?
Like, broke off.
Out of anger?
No, I've told you I've been wrestling with this thing forever. Yeah. This was even the inside part. Like, it's too old. It needs to be replaced. It's long needed to be replaced. And so we're going to get it done, and it's going to be done absolutely perfectly with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. They've got a great deal going right now, so you can customize everything with Pella. And since wood is a natural material, they can paint it, they can stain it, they can leave it bare to complement your unique home decor, whatever you need there, and their products stand the test of time. It's why Pella confidently offers the best wood warranty in the industry. And you have until August 31st to take advantage of this great deal. Customize and bundle to save big. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent.
SmartSpacesWI.com.
Checking in on the roads before we get to the new bus, Debbie.
All right, no incidents out on the roads right now, so we're looking pretty good. Volume is very manageable. You can get to where you need to go without too much of a delay, especially 4394 north and southbound heading to the airport. You shouldn't find any kind of problems right now. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mix of sun and clouds in your storm team forecast for today with just a slight chance of a shower. We certainly need the rain. High of 77 at the lake, 85 inland. Slight chance of a shower tonight with a low down to 60. Slight chance of a morning shower on Tuesday, then partly sunny skies, high of 70. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all mostly sunny. Wednesday's high 72, 73 on Thursday, 78 on Friday morning for your high temperature. 61 right now in Milwaukee. So the Magic Bus is indeed up and running.
And we are go for launch.
Soft launch, though, if you will. Milwaukee County Transit Connect One operational. Started service on Sunday with a big dog and pony show scheduled for later today.
I'm charging my phone right now. Oh, it's a charging station in here. Yeah, under all the seats. Yeah. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Okay, cool.
So it's WTMJ's Jason Smith on board the bus, talking with a local traveler who just discovered one of the fancy features, charging stations for your electronic devices. All right, man. Jason Smith live with us in studio this morning. So you rode the bus.
I rode the bus.
Okay, where do you want to start?
So first, I got to say that bus is nice. I mean,
it's a nice bus.
It's a nice bus. It's spacious. I would say it's probably a little bit more spacious than a typical bus.
Okay,
but it gets you where you need to go faster than the typical bus. Like for example, it told me that it would take 40 minutes to get to Harley and Blue Mile on a typical bus.
Okay,
it took me only 16 minutes on the BRT.
On the Magic Bus.
On Connect One.
Yeah, on the Magic Bus.
Was it quieter?
It was definitely quieter because
So you were on one of the electric ones?
Yeah, on the electric bus. Yeah, because I rode on one of the electric. At first, a normal bus pulled up, but I was like, oh, no, I have to ride.
No, I'm not getting on that bus.
If I don't ride on the Connect One bus, then what am I doing?
Right.
So I got on the Connect One bus. It was less people, so it was only about 3-4 people on there. But the first dude I caught was charging his phone, and that was the big thing for me because I just did not know. I even spoke to a couple travelers who weren't from here, but somehow knew about the BRT, and they found out through Reddit.
See, that part was interesting to me. That, and again, I've teased the Magic Bus because I think some of the outlandish promises
you want it to fail.
I don't want it to fail. I don't think it's going to do all the things that they say it's going to do. But if it definitely helps with people who are in the community who are visiting us and makes their transit, their commute easier, then I'm for that part, and it seems like it did for these folks.
No, it definitely did, because he literally said, he told me, if he would have took a normal bus, he would not have been able to get to work quick enough.
Right.
So he's happy that he took that bus, and he just found, the man I talked to about the charging station had just found out about it 20 minutes before he hopped on, because it was free. It's free for the next 4 months. So he like, oh, what? I can get to work quicker, and I can get there free? But we'll see how it goes. This is a soft launch.
Does it take work to get on it as far as like an app or anything like that? Or
so each station, they're not normal bus stops. They're like stations. You can't miss it. All glass, and it has
kiosk.
and it has a big ATM like machine where you can purchase your tickets. And that's where you buy the ticket, or you get the Umo app.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So do you need to get a ticket now because it's free, or you just walk on?
You just walk right on right now.
I got you.
They walk out and you just walk right on. I was confused about that at first, but yeah, when they pulled up, I just walked on. Hey, how you doing?
Were they nice? Were they friendly?
Oh yeah. The bus driver spoke to me. It was only a couple people in there. I mean, nobody.
Get used to that. All right.
Come on.
It's the first day.
Yeah, it was definitely only a couple people, but the other bus was definitely more packed.
So, anything else to you, because you're in these dedicated lanes, and that's been the other criticism I've had of that, is you're taking lanes out of traffic on very busy spots already, Wisconsin and Blue Mound Road, and you're leaving it, that's going to be largely empty, but for when the bus goes on through. So, you notice any difference there, or are people staying out of those lanes?
See, it's crazy because when I first saw those lanes, I was wondering, what are these? Like, it said bus only, but I didn't know what it was. But yeah, people actually are staying out of the lanes. Some people still driving in that lane, especially they trying to turn right. They gonna hop in that bus only lane. But I mean, it's supposed to help, but it does it compacts the road a little bit.
More narrow?
Yeah. So traffic might be a little bit of a problem.
You got the list of dignitaries set for the
so there's a big ribbon
today?
cutting, if you will, today at 10 So the MCTS president will be there, County Executive David Crowley, the Mayor Cavalier Johnson, Gwendolyn Moore, the Congressman will be there, the Lieutenant Governor, the Tosa Mayor, and the list goes on.
Oh, man.
Tons of people.
Have you had your fill, or do you want to go out to that today, too?
I'll go out to that today, too, and see what that's looking like. I mean, man.
Transportation Secretary will be there, so all kinds of people.
So this must be about to really help the city if
That's right, Jason. That's exactly what it's going to do.
That's what they say. WTMJ's Jason Smith. Hey, thanks for your work yesterday. Busy weekend for you. 727. News about your money this morning, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 700-plus points to 33,763 at the end of trading on Friday. The NASDAQ at 13,241. That was up nearly 140 points. And the S&P 500 up 61 to 4282. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
RJ Schenner has several Toshiba copier printers from James Imaging Systems. IT manager Gabe Colasari.
The reason why for James Imaging is their responsiveness, dedication, knowledge of the product, and they always make sure that the customer is taken care of.
The kind of customer service you'd expect from a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company like James Imaging Systems.
We actually have a high-end printing machine on site, so we produce our own catalogs, so we need the support to handle that.
James Imaging Systems, better document imaging technology, better service.
When we got a problem, we're able to call in and get it rectified or corrected without any issues.
Gabe, any advice to other local businesses?
Contact James. I mean, they'll take care of you.
James Imaging Systems, reliable document imaging technology, extraordinary local service. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Advent founder, Dr. Madan Kandula.
If you were formerly breathing properly and we just plugged your nose up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it for a few minutes. You're not going to like it for an hour. You wouldn't stand it for a day. If we're talking weeks, you're going to be clawing at the walls to get that thing off. And if we're talking months to years to decades, many of our patients are basically walking around with clothespins on their nose and they don't know any difference. They've never experienced what life is supposed to be like when you breathe properly, and so for them, they feel like it's normal. It should be no surprise that many of the folks that we treat have downstream conditions. So if somebody's nose isn't working properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Coming up on 7:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News, our top story, F-16s scramble after a plane flies towards the nation's capital.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A toddler shot and killed in Milwaukee.
I'm Brandon Snide. Miami turns up the heat in Denver.
I'm Debbie Laziga, seeing a little bit of a backup now on westbound 94, heading into the stadium interchange right around the 35th Street area. North and southbound on 43, doing pretty well. A little tight on the northbound side right through the Capitol Drive construction zone. But otherwise, everything else is looking good. Debbie Laziga.
A private plane whose pilot had passed out flying over Washington, D.C. U.S. fighter jets scrambled to track it. They caused a couple of sonic booms in the region on Sunday. ABC News contributor Colonel Steve Ganyard.
The aircraft was at 34,000 feet. It stayed at 34,000 feet, and it stayed on a constant heading. So it didn't seem like it was a big threat. They did put the Capitol and the White House on alert, but they didn't shoot it down precisely because they saw that it was not going to be a threat to the Capitol.
The pilot and 3 others on board all killed when the plane went down of its own accord in a Virginia forest. The U.S. has now released video of what it calls an unsafe Chinese maneuver in the Taiwan Strait. A Chinese Navy ship cutting sharply across the path of an American destroyer, forcing the U.S. ship to slow down to avoid a collision. Police in Sunnyvale, Texas, just outside Dallas, searching for 2 suspects after a shooting in an apartment complex parking lot. 1 woman killed, 4 others shot and wounded, including 3 kids. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, the bus rapid transit line is operational. TMJ4's Elaine Rojas Castillo with more on Connect One.
The new 9-mile east-west route will run from the Milwaukee Regional Medical Center in Wauwatosa to downtown and feature 11 electric buses, elevated bus stations, and new technology. Daytime buses will arrive every 10 minutes on weekdays and every 15 minutes on the weekends. Buses will arrive every 20 to 30 minutes during the evenings. MCTS leaders say the hope is that with its added resources, people consider this as a bus station rather than a bus stop.
A bus line kicked off service on Sunday. Today, city and county leaders, as well as some federal officials, will hold a ribbon-cutting ceremony. That'll be later this morning, 10 a.m.
Milwaukee police searching for suspects believed to have shot and killed a 1-year-old girl in Milwaukee. This is the 10th murder of a child in the city so far this year. Now, this happened Saturday night near 19th and Atkinson. Now, according to police, the child was shot inside a vehicle by a known suspect during an argument between adults. The girl was identified as Zaire Nevels.
A triple shooting at a Mount Pleasant convenience store. That was Saturday night. TMJ4 News reporting Mount Pleasant police say 3 people were shot, 22nd and Meade. 1 person treated at a hospital nearby, 2 others at Freighter for serious injuries. Police are investigating this shooting as an attempted homicide.
The Forest County Potawatomi community purchasing more land near Oconomowoc this time from a local Boy Scouts council. The Milwaukee Business Journal's Mark Cass.
Real interesting move here. It's like 300 acres out west. No specific thing for it yet. In other areas of the community, they've done office parks, they've done other type of things, but they're really not saying. They've been upgrading the casino right here in Milwaukee.
This is the Potawatomi's second recent purchase after buying more than 20 acres of land in Kenosha County earlier this year.
Milwaukee becoming Nashville North, a booming market for country music.
George Strait already made Brewers history as the first music headliner when Miller Park opened in 2001. Now he's set a new concert attendance record for the stadium. According to Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, the king of country music bested Paul McCartney's record by a few thousand people at Saturday's American Family Field show with openers Chris Stapleton and Little Big Town. This comes after Morgan Wallen became the first artist to headline 2 consecutive nights at the Brewers Stadium in April. Strait has more top 10 songs on the Billboard country charts than any other artist. Jessica Gatzo, WTMJ News.
Coming up, a strike comes to an end in Hollywood, but maybe not the one you're thinking or hoping for. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 7:34. News is sponsored by Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells, your grown-up getaway.
Enjoy adventure and relaxation in your new summer ride. It's Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells Cruisin' the Dells giveaways, where on June 24th, you'll have a chance to win a brand new GMC Acadia, along with $10,000 in cash and $1,000 in rewards play. Earn entries all month long. And remember, the more you play, the more chances you have to win. It's the Cruisin' the Dells giveaways, June 24th at Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. Must be 21. See Ho Chunk Gaming representative for more details.
A unique blend of jazz and rock vocal music that has been celebrated by generations.
Goes up, must come down.
It's Blood, Sweat, and Tears, performing live Friday, July 7th, 8 p.m. at Ho Chunk Gaming.
You made me so.
Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster.
And when I die,
a renaissance of unbridled talent. It's Blood, Sweat, and Tears, July 7th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
Must be 21 to attend concert.
You may be hearing the costs of property insurance for businesses are skyrocketing. To share some insight, here's Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Hi, Vince. The property insurance market right now is very challenging. Large rate hikes and more restrictions on what will be covered. Why is this happening? Natural disasters are becoming more frequent in the Midwest. In 2022, the Midwest had 7 events, each costing more than $1 billion. Many businesses and homeowners have buildings and residences that are underinsured. Insurance companies are looking to bring these values current, which can increase costs. Buyers need to have a strategy. If your agent's not addressing these issues, it's time to find a new one.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
As one of the largest independent agencies in the Midwest, R&R Insurance has the knowledge to build strategies to help you control costs and the buying power with leading carriers to get you the best coverage at competitive rates. At R&R Insurance, we know property insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
At Semper Fi, the path to self-improvement never ends. It feels good to be good. It's been 20 years, and we'll make sure you feel like you made a great decision to have us work on your next exterior remodeling project.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Brewers broadcaster Sophia Minert is our guest on Brewers 360, coming up at 7:45.
Just as summer is nearly here, a warning that those gas prices could start ticking up even more.
Saudi Arabia says it will reduce how much oil it sends to the global economy. Starting in July, the country will cut 1 million barrels per day. They say they're doing it to, quote, bring stability to the market. This will be the third cut, and all told, OPEC Plus has now dropped production on paper by 4.6 million barrels a day. Experts say this new cut would likely push up oil prices in the short term, but the impact after that would depend on whether Saudi Arabia decides to extend it. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Right now in Wisconsin, the average price for a gallon of regular is $3.44.
Officials in India say they have identified the cause of this weekend's massive and deadly train crash. CBS News' Jerica Duncan with more.
India's rail minister said it appears a malfunctioning signal is to blame for the country's worst train disaster in decades. It caused 2 passenger trains to change tracks and slam into a freight train. The trains were carrying more than 2,200 people. Nearly 300 of them were killed, and nearly 1,000 were injured.
A Hollywood union has reached a deal, but it's not the one you're thinking about.
The Directors Guild of America reached a new 3-year deal with Hollywood studios. It increases wages, streaming residuals, scales back hours, and more. The DGA began negotiations with studios last month amid the ongoing Writers Guild strike, which is now in its 5th week. It's unclear what effect, if any, the DGA tentative new agreement will have on the striking writers, and the SAG-AFTRA union could soon be in the same boat. That union begins contract talks with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers on Wednesday, and its contract expires at the end of the month. Matt Piper, CBS News.
And kind of crickets on any movement in terms of the writer's strike, right?
Other than hearing that, like, Drew Carey is bringing donuts to the picketers, right. I haven't heard anything.
Nothing of substance about we're close or we're not close, even
Right.
just anything. Nothing. Crickets. I did my best on that one. Sometimes it works. Sometimes you got to get it. Nope. Can't get it. I'll get it coming back.
I'm a little disappointed.
When I can get it, it's good.
I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
That's better.
It's better. Not your best, though.
7:39 in Wisconsin's Morning News. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk, heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
You might have heard the old saying, history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. The team at Annex Wealth Management tends to agree. Look at every inflation battle for the past 60 years. While not every facet is the same, there sure are similarities. Knowledge is power. How are you with financial rhymes? Do you know how previous investors did in the battle against inflation? Who succeeded? Who didn't? Our team of experts with a diversity of experience, insight, and opinion is what sets Annex Wealth Management apart. It's a team that works together to do what's in our clients' best interests. One team allows Annex to take a holistic approach to financial planning. And face it, that's something a do-it-yourselfer, one-person shop, or an inexperienced firm might find too challenging. Take a quick look at the headlines. We're not out of the woods yet. It's time for a seasoned team, a team that's seen it before, a team equipped to guide you on the path to where you're headed. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Traffic is brought to you by Crest Cadillac. Find them at CrestCadillac.com. Crest Cadillac of Brookfield, located on Capitol Drive, just west of Interstate 41. Discover Crest Cadillac at CrestCadillac.com.
Checking into the roads here with Debbie.
All right, now we're starting to see some delays. North and southbound on 43, just south of Capitol Drive, so just be prepared for a few taps of the brakes through that area. Otherwise, westbound on 94 as you're making your way through the Stadium interchange from about 35th Street. Going to be a little tight through there. The eastbound side on and off the brakes from about just before 76th Street all the way through to about 35th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a mix of sunshine and cloud cover. Highs in the upper 70s at the lakefront, mid-80s farther inland. A slight chance of a shower. We'll hold on to that chance of rain overnight. Mostly cloudy with lows dipping to around 60 degrees. And outside of an early shower or thunderstorm on Tuesday, it's partly sunny with a high near 70. Mostly sunny for Wednesday and Thursday. Highs in the low 70s and more sunshine for Friday as highs climb close to 80 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 61. So my two daughters are the only kids in America who didn't go to Taylor Swift
oh my
in Chicago this weekend.
You're a horrible, horrible parent.
I am the worst. Actually, they were looking around. So we tried, when the tickets for Taylor Swift's huge tour went on sale and broke Ticketmaster and did all those things. We tried, because our girls are fans and they're teenagers, and that would have been a reach even at face value. But okay, and we didn't get tickets. Some of their friends did, so we knew that there would be some social media traffic.
Sure.
And the
Swifties.
So we told them, my wife really told them, okay, look around. Tickets generally go down in price closer it gets to the thing. Look around on Friday how that plays out. And if it looks like tickets are going for not that much right before showtime.
So we have examples of that, right? So Pancake has done that where he's seen a show. You've gotten tickets right after the first song plays. And it'll
You're about to make me give up my big secret right now. No, it's good. It's the philosophy, right? So I call it the bagel store always runs out of bagels. When you go to a bagel store right before it closes and they have a bunch of bagels, we got to get rid of them. What are we going to do? Throw them out? So you go and they give you a bunch of bagels. Works with donuts too. Also works with concert tickets. If you can wait right when the show starts, maybe you're hovering around the arena, check those ticket prices right when that show begins, right when the headliner gets on stage. See what they got to get rid of the tickets.
So he saved money doing it. How much money could you have saved had you done that?
My girls were tracking on Friday night for, right up till showtime, what are tickets going for? The lower price, the dramatically lower price, was like $700 per.
All right, well.
It was better than $1,000.
What if you want to just catch the encore? Right. Still 300 bones.
And they're looking at me with that. I'm like, that's a no. That's a no on that one.
So, an expensive bagel.
Right. Sometimes no is okay. Brewers 360 is up next with Sophia Minert.
Outdoor living here is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. And there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited and get creative about your yard. Your wishes, your ideas. Outdoor Living Unlimited's knowledge and expertise. Roll those dreams into reality. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com. That's OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too. Because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach. One who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at Accunet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at ACCUNET.com.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com. Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Adrian Hauser pitched 7 strong innings, and Andrew Monasterio hit his first career home run, helping lead the Brewers to the 5-1 victory Sunday afternoon against Cincinnati. The Brewers are now winners of 3 straight and 5 of their last 7 games. Milwaukee will look to add to the win column against the Reds tonight. First pitch is set for 6:10.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. And Brewers broadcaster Sophia Minert, our guest on Monday mornings. Good morning, Sophia.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're pretty good, actually. I'm glad to have a chance for a sweep today. I was looking at your Twitter feed the other day, and it took you 2 full tweets in a thread just to give the Brewers injury update. But on this trip and on this roadie, we've had, again, some new names that we have to learn, but young people or new people stepping up.
Yeah, I think that's been the story of this team all season. And obviously you don't want like this volume of injuries to pile up like it has really going back to opening day. But it creates opportunities for other players. And we've had some great stories with players coming up and contributing in really impactful ways, and they're going to be counted on to continue contributing. I think, yesterday was a great example of that, of 4 of the players in the starting lineup started the season with AAA, and yet here they are. They're all in the same lineup, and they're being counted on. So I think we have definitely seen a lot of that this season.
Sophia, you had a front row seat to Andrew Monasterio yesterday, hitting that first career homer, and you had a fun video there on Twitter, him going to the dugout, getting the cheesehead, and kind of being ignored per usual yes. With his teammates. How was that moment like for you witnessing that firsthand?
Yeah, it's fun. I think like this team, despite everything that they've had to go through up to this point, they've still found ways to have fun every day. And, I think he's such a likable kid. He's got great energy. He's always smiling. It's his first week in the big leagues. Every day is like a dream for him. He's truly that guy that is just happy to be here, and he's playing really well. He's having great at-bats. Yesterday was a great moment for him. The 3-run homer, right away, gives them a huge lead. And, his teammates had some fun with it, give him the silent treatment in the dugout. And then, of course, they've got the great reaction at the end.
Did you catch the Zach Brown band on Friday?
I did, yes. Yeah, it was great. It was Lou Gehrig Day across Major League Baseball, and so the Reds had invited Zach Brown Band for a post-game concert. One of the members of their band, unfortunately, has ALS, and so it was like a charity concert, and it was sold out. They had more than 44,000 people there at Great American Ballpark. It was their largest crowd for a regular season game. And they put on a great show. They played for over an hour, so it was a lot of fun.
So Vince was trying to get Taylor Swift tickets at Soldier Field this past weekend. How much would you pay for a ticket to see Taylor Swift?
I was very lucky. I actually got to see her in Arizona when we were in spring training. So I did pay, and I would 100% go again. I don't think it'll probably work out with our schedule, but I had a lot of FOMO of everyone in Chicago this weekend that got to go to the concert, because I just love hearing when people get to go and what they think of it. And it really is. It's an amazing, amazing show. Even if you're not a big fan of hers, it's really quite a production.
Sophia, Dad here was faced with $700 per for 2 girls.
Oh,
so
no, I get it. I don't.
I'm sorry, I was out on that.
I don't envy anybody. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Trust me, it's insane, but I don't feel for you being in that spot.
Sophia Minert with us on Monday mornings. Thanks, Sophia. Hope we bring home the sweep.
All right. Thanks for the time.
Mark Tauscher with us next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
In our experience, throwing cheese on something automatically makes it better.
It's skyline time.
But all the cheese in the world couldn't help with, whatever that is.
Now the ball gets away. Yelich is streaking home. He is in. The game is tied.
It's the Brewers and the Reds. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. Local, family-owned company you can trust for your concrete and asphalt paving project of any size. We've been talking a lot about potholes and how beat up our city streets are. It's a real problem across Wisconsin, but not just on the roads. How about for the parking lot at your business? How's that look? If it's a moonscape, that is not the first impression that you want to give to your valued customers. Same thing goes for your driveway or your patio. Fix it up or rebuild the whole thing with Johnson & Sons Paving. Johnson & Sons does everything in-house. They'll help you design your project and even mix their own asphalt. And they're proud of the work they do, so much so they got their family name right there on the business. In business 10 years now here in southeast Wisconsin. You got lots of Johnsons over there, but you won't find any subcontractors. When you hire Johnson & Sons, you get them every step of the way. A one-stop shop for projects of any size. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Lake Geneva. It's where families have been making memories around the water for generations. Lakeside resorts and spas, award-winning restaurants, and charming shops are just the beginning of an unforgettable summer getaway. Lake cruises, boating, and beach lounging let you soak up the sun, water, and family time. Hike a lakeshore path, stargaze from an iconic observatory, or soar above it all in a hot air balloon. Go ziplining, visit an animal safari, or see dancing horses. Start making your memories today at visitlakegeneva.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's turbo high-output engine, delivering impressive power with no compromised durability. Whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends, this is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living. Learn more about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options. Visit harwoodplace.org or call to schedule a tour.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
7:52, checking in with Debbie here, then Mark Tauscher.
All right, well, we've got some delays out there now. We've got westbound 94 hitting the brakes from before 27th Street all the way through the stadium interchange. That's going to be about a 9-minute ride from downtown to the zoo. The eastbound side's at about 10 to get from the zoo into downtown. Those delays kick in at 84th Street all the way through the stadium. We've also got some backups along southbound 43 between Bender Road and Hampton. And then again, back on the brakes from Keefe down past Locust. The northbound side's backing up just north of Kilbourne all the way up to almost Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Just a slight chance for a shower. A little bit of stuff bubbling up on the radar this morning. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 85 degrees inland, 77 at the lake. Slight chance for a shower tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 60. And then a slight chance for a morning shower on Tuesday. Otherwise, partly sunny and a high of 70. Right now, 61 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
We got invited to a wedding this weekend.
Innovator.
We have baseball in Janesville, and I am the coach of the team. The schedule comes out, and we play at 3:30 and at 6:30 Saturday night.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
Come in my ballpark uniform. Sweet Caroline, hit my YMCA, and then hit the road.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by your Southeastern Wisconsin Chevy dealers. Tausch, how are you?
I'm doing well. I just listening to that clip, so I did decide to skip the second game. I did not do the 6:30 game in Janesville. And I ended up driving out to Spring Green for the wedding. And, one of the things as you get older that you learn is that showing up for people is the most important thing. And, man, I felt really good about getting out to that wedding, dancing a little bit, eating a donut, and heading home. So that was a lesson learned after talking, and thoroughly enjoyed it, even though it's tough when you're coaching a baseball team to miss a game.
Good for you, man. That's a tough decision to make, but I think you made the right one.
A lot of folks were responding to that after you got off the line last week, Tausch.
I saw that.
Hey, tell Mark he's got to do the important things in life.
Yeah, so there. I think everybody at a certain age starts dealing with this when your kids start getting to a certain age. You don't want to miss anything, but there's also the other part of life that you can't just all be all in all the time. You have to really kind of make decisions, and sometimes you get caught up in things and you neglect other things and relationships with other people. So this was a good reminder, mainly by my wife, is kind of how we looked at it. So when she started saying, is this really, it wasn't even, it was pool play. For everybody, I know, Eric, you know Little League Baseball.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even, now if it was a single elimination and we were going to get knocked out, maybe I'd do this differently, but it was pool play. So once I heard that kind of got my mind, all right, yeah, I think we're right. It was the right move. And again, man, when you get there and you see everybody and you haven't seen people in a long time, it reaffirmed that was the right decision for me.
Tausch, I saw a few of your old teammates this weekend. I was in the Vince Lombardi Golf Classic, raising money for the Lombardi Cancer Foundation. Darren College,
Two
Tony
gloves?
Hall.
Double glove, Vinny, or not?
No, I don't know where you ever got that. No 2 gloves for me.
I don't either.
College, Mall, and Jason Spitz, also known as Three Fat Guys Winery, were all there.
Yep.
Well, I think actually College couldn't make it. But
Tony was there.
Yeah, Tony was there, and Jason was there, and they were talking about this winery operation that they've got. 3 old linemen, they call it Three Fat Guys Wine.
Yeah, and ironically, 2 of the guys, I haven't seen Tony in a while, but Jason Spitz is not a fat guy anymore.
Nope.
He's a skinny guy.
Tony
so
still
I don't
fits the
think
bill
they
a
have to
little
well, that's nice of you, Vinny.
No, I mean, let me rephrase. Tony, he's fine. He's healthy.
Yeah. Let me hear you rephrase. I actually want to hear you rephrase. No, those guys started that a while ago, and Tony Mall was a great teammate, and he was one of those guys that just always had these monster dreams, and he always told us that this is what he was going to do. He ended up getting into insurance after he got done playing, and you could tell every time I talked to him it would be, I don't know if this is what I really want to do, and then he just kept pushing, and now he is Mr. Sonoma. So anyone that ever goes out to Napa and Sonoma, that place along with Hamill Family Wines, it's a great trip out. Sonoma's actually better than Napa. Don't at me about that. If you've spent time in Sonoma, their downtown and their little central square, better than what Napa is.
It's funny, the collision course with, like the old school NFL, you wouldn't think of guys being wine drinkers or wine connoisseurs. When I was out at Super Bowl 45, I remember Dick Vermeil, former head coach, had a launch event for his wine brand. And I remember putting it to Coach. I'm like, Coach, this doesn't feel like, old NFL, beer drinking, whatever. He's like, man, things have changed. Guys are into this.
Yeah, and you see that now with, different fighters getting liquors and bourbons. And I think people have just gotten a more sophisticated palate. Give me a Coors Light, and I'm going to be pretty happy.
Well, it's good to see some of your old guys. Tausch, thanks so much. We'll talk again tomorrow.
Sounds good. See you guys.
Did I just call him old now, too? And still I'm in trouble. Coming up, news sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. Retire well with Kowal. Here are the business headlines for the Milwaukee Business Journal's Rich Kirchen.
Giannis Antetokounmpo and his brothers already do business in soccer and baseball franchises and a store at the Athens airport. Now they're naming their company Ante Incorporated. The Associated Bank River Center in downtown Milwaukee leases one floor to the Republican National Committee. It's going to house the staff for the 2024 convention. Elizabeth Eline of Uline Incorporated joins Forbes' list of America's richest self-made women. Continuing on the list are Diane Hendricks of ABC Supply in Beloit and Judy Faulkner of Madison's Epic Systems. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
During these uncertain times, there are a lot of added stressors on your plate, but your financial plan doesn't have to be one of them. Outsource your stress to us. Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. For more than 30 years, we have been helping our clients build a financial portfolio that can weather the storm, and we'd like to help you too. Our team of fiduciary advisors will walk you through our streamlined retirement process, answer your retirement questions, and stress test your financial plan to ensure that you can stay on track to your financial goals. At Kowal Investment Group, we care about you and your vision for retirement. You can trust us to guide you every step of the way. If you're close to or already in retirement and have $750,000 or more in retirement assets, give our office a call today at 262-522-4040. That's 262-522-4040, or visit thekowalway.com to schedule your complimentary, no-obligation retirement review.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
Get help for your house this Saturday from Eric Brown. The president of Siding Unlimited knows his stuff. Yes, their name is Siding, but they do so much more. Windows by Pella and others, roofing, decks. That's why they are Siding Unlimited. Eric can advise you with anything about your home's exterior. Make a point to listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix-It Show. And remember why they are called Siding Unlimited. They are siding and much, much more. See sidingunlimited.com and you'll see.
Are you ready to amp up your life and rock a new career? Potawatomi Casino Hotel is holding a hiring jam session for the new Rock and Brews restaurant. Come meet your future team members in the Tailgate House at American Family Field on June 12th, 14th, and 15th. Here's the hook. There are on-the-spot job offers.
Excellent!
Choose from a variety of restaurant positions. It's time to rock and roll and build your new future. Apply today at careers.paysbig.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The place to get caught up, to speak out, to connect and be entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8:02, 60 degrees, suns and clouds today. Could slight be a chance for a shower there. A high of 85 inland. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Eric Bilstead. Checking the roads now in Debbie Lazaga.
All right, southbound on 43. Going to be hitting the brakes from about Good Hope Road all the way down past Silver Spring. The northbound side's backing up before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up, basically on and off the brakes all the way to Capitol Drive. Westbound 94, heavy from 25th Street through the stadium. We're looking at things opening up right about at Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side's different, though. That's going to be backed up from about 84th Street all the way past Hawley Road. A little bit once you get out of the stadium interchange, but then it opens up into the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A private plane whose pilot appeared to have passed out flies over Washington, D.C. This happened Sunday. U.S. fighter jets triggering a sonic boom over the nation's capital as they scrambled to track this aircraft, which ultimately crashed in rural Virginia. There were no survivors. ABC News contributor Colonel Steve Ganyard.
It does seem that in this case that hypoxia probably caused by the loss of pressurization in this 33-year-old airplane was the cause of this tragic
It is
mishap.
believed that they likely were unconscious. The New York Times reporting that along with the pilot, there was a woman, her 2-year-old daughter, and her nanny on board that flight. The bus rapid transit line now in operation. The east-west line on Wisconsin Avenue, connecting the regional medical complex in Wauwatosa to the Milwaukee lakefront, started up on Sunday. It's called Connect One. The electric bus is currently free to ride. A ribbon-cutting ceremony will take place later this morning. The search is on for a suspect believed to have shot and killed a 1-year-old girl in Milwaukee. It is the 10th murder of a child in the city so far this year. Police say this happened Saturday night near 19th and Atkinson. The girl shot inside a vehicle by a known suspect during an argument between adults, according to investigators. The child identified as Zaire Nevels. A triple shooting in Mount Pleasant at a convenience store Saturday night. Mount Pleasant police say 3 people shot and injured near 22nd and Meade. Minor League Soccer may not be coming to Milwaukee anytime soon. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting a proposal to provide state funds to help pay for a downtown stadium in the Iron District is dead. State legislature's Joint Finance Committee rejected the governor's proposal to include a little bit more than $10 million for that stadium in the state budget. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Welcome to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. May I take your order?
I'd like 9 windows, please.
Of course. All our products are custom made just for you.
I'm hoping they'll match my home.
Of course they can. Have it your way.
Excuse me? We're talking about windows, right?
Yes, we customize any decor. Our design options are virtually limitless, even more customized than your coffee.
So you're like my personal barista for windows and doors.
Exactly. And you couldn't have picked a better time because if you customize your order by August 31st, you can bundle and save big.
Good deal. That was easy.
Thank you. Drive through.
Pella's premium wood windows and patio doors feature distinguished craftsmanship and nearly endless possibilities. Bundle and save when you customize your order by August 31st at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
While the warm weather has you feeling like new, get old with a money market account from Old National Bank and earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield. Whether you're saving up for something big or just for a rainy day, Old National is here for you. Earn 5.00% APY with our limited time 12-month introductory money market offer. To earn the promotional rate, account must be funded with a minimum of $10,000 not on deposit at Old National as of April 14th, 2023. Learn more at oldnational.com or visit a local banking center today. Offer not available online. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
Hey WTMJs, John Mercure here. One of my very favorite parts of our great Wisconsin summer is the EAA Air Venture Oshkosh. I grew up making memories at Air Venture every year. The air shows, the planes, the people, the food, the fun, stuff for kids, stuff for adults, all the excitement. This year, the EAA Magic is from July 24th to July 30th. Get your tickets now at EAA.org. Create new memories for your family this summer. Join me at EAA. Check it out, EAA.org.
WTMJ Sports Update. The Brewers go for the sweep of the Reds tonight. You can hear that game right here on WTMJ. Admirals look to avoid elimination in Game 6 of their playoff series, and the Heat come back to beat the Nuggets, tying the NBA Finals at 1 game apiece.
We got still some delays east and westbound on 94. Pretty typical stuff, though. Eastbound will slow down from around 84th Street through the stadium. The westbound side from 27th to about Mitchell Boulevard. We're also seeing some delays along 894 westbound, mainly between Loomis and Forest Home. So watch out for that. We've also got northbound 894 backing up from Beloit Road up past National Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mix of sun and clouds today. There's a slight chance for a shower. A high of 85 inland, 77 at the lake. Tonight, slight chance for rain, cloudy, a low of 60. Tuesday, there's a chance for a shower, partly sunny, a high of 70. Wednesday, sunny, high of 72. Thursday, sunny, a high of 73. Friday, sunny, a high of 78 degrees. Right now, in Madison, it's 63. Green Bay, 67. Waukesha, 63. And in Milwaukee, 64 degrees. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Stick it to him! 8:09 on this Monday morning, Wisconsin's Morning News. Greg Pancake Hill producing the show. Eric Bilstead, Vince Vitrano taking you up until 9 o'clock this morning. Eric, we've talked before about religion and the respect that I have for people who are devoutly religious and the grounding that they have in their life, the compass that provides for them and their morality and so many other things that they do. And not to belabor the point, that's not the faith journey that I'm currently on, but I'm envious of those who have that in their lives. And maybe I'll get back there at some point. I was raised Catholic, and we don't go to church regularly, my family, right now. And I think I'd like to. I think I'd want to get back there, but for an assortment of reasons, I'm not there right now. And that's fine. I'm at peace with that in my life. But I deeply respect those who are devoted to their religions. And speaking for Christianity, I won't speak for Judaism or Islam or some of the Eastern religions because I'm not as well versed in those. But I know in Christianity, a key pillar is evangelism. If you're a good Christian, you are to spread the good news, right? To share the word of the Lord and to try and encourage others to come on board, right? And that's fine. I think that's largely positive. But there's a right way and a wrong way to go about it, and I'm going to give you 2 examples of the wrong way that have touched my life recently, including most recently yesterday. And I'm going to tell you this first line, and you're going to say, what does this have to do with any of that? When my 15-year-old daughter got back from the beach.
Oh, no.
How can this be connected to what I just talked about there?
Oh, boy.
So she and a bunch of her friends went to one of the local beaches. I'm not going to say which one because it doesn't matter. And she said, we're out suntanning in our small group, and then there's another group of girls, look to be about the same age, some bunch of high schoolers or whatever out there doing their suntanning on the beach.
They didn't know the other group?
Yeah, didn't know the other group. And she said there's this guy walking around and was just kind of hanging around and didn't really appear to be talking directly with anyone, but was talking loud enough like he wanted to be noticed. Like maybe was trying to start a conversation, but was sort of being ignored, and didn't seem to be like openly harassing these other girls, but also didn't fit. Wasn't part of their group, was considerably older. Now, I still can't place, even after questioning my daughter, how old this guy could have been. She's like, well, he was like an old guy. Well, I'm an old guy to her.
Right.
I'm almost 50, and I'm like, that's really old if you're 15.
Right.
Yeah, some old guy like you. Like you.
Take a look at my life.
I'm a lot like you. So, right. So, I think probably middle age or a little older.
Sure.
So,
all right. Was he wearing a suit?
Guy, you know what? I didn't ask that. I didn't ask what he was wearing. Just said he was around. It just kind of didn't fit. Didn't seem to be a part of any group and was around. And then was apparently getting set to leave this group of girls there. And now our girls are watching them very closely. Like, what's going on here? And she said then he started like dropping either leaflets or small packets, like something to read, at everybody's towel. And then he kind of disappeared. Like, what is that about? But they kind of kept to themselves. And now this guy's back. And now he's kind of slinking around their area. And as he's coming back, and I give credit to these other girls, they were looking down at the group of girls that my daughter was with, and they're like, come over by us. Like, they were obviously spooked by this guy. And they're like, come over by us. Like, and I think that's really great. They were there looking out for each other, don't know each other, and just said, come put your towels by us.
Let's unify.
Yeah. And I guess the guy came back around and was, again, kind of going through the same motions, trying to overhear things, trying to comment loudly on things, but not really engaging with anyone. And then on his way out, dropped a bunch of, again, these leaflets, and they were like religious pamphlets, word of the Lord and things like that.
Sure.
Had some scripture in them and whatever. And so I had 2 takeaways from that. One could be this guy's just a creep, and he's hiding behind some sort of religious outreach to just do creepy things, right? And so that would be terrible. And a terrible offense to any of the religious faithful who, otherwise are out there evangelizing the right way. And here's some guy just trying to creep around some teenagers at the beach and hiding behind. No, I'm talking about religion. No, you're not. If it's the other, and he really thinks this is a way to reach some young people who might need religion in their lives, I got news for you. That did not work.
I was going to say that's a swing and a miss, I think.
Right? Because the only thing they took away from that was stranger danger. Why is this guy talking to me?
Yeah.
And they felt threatened by it.
Pushing God stuff.
Right, yeah. This guy, someone I don't know, complete stranger, at the beach, talking to girls. This isn't the way. If you want to truly reach those people with the word of God, not the way to do it.
And at least have beach clothes on.
Right, yes, right. Don't come out in that way. So that was one story. And then the other was, my daughter has someone that she knows at school, and I don't know what they talk about or whatever. They're not like good friends, but they're in things together. And her, and I know of this girl. I know she's deeply religious, and as is her mom. And her mom wrote my daughter a letter addressed to her. It came to our house. It was about religious stuff. And
just to your daughter, or was
this
like
her?
This wasn't a sending it to all classmates or anything like that?
To her and specific to her, and there was nothing untoward within it. Just, I just thought
sharing
that was
the word of the Lord.
Yeah,
type of thing.
and I think no matter what you're talking about, whether it's religion or sports or politics, like if you want to talk to someone else's kids, you got to go through mom and dad first, don't you?
At least until they're 18, right?
And about whatever. And my daughter was a little bit like, she's like, why do I have this? What is this about? And we talked through it, and I didn't make a big deal out of it. And I did tell her, I'm like, if it's not the worst thing to have someone tell you, Jesus loves you.
Right.
Okay, so
agreed.
Take it for what it is. You're free to absorb that information however you want.
Boy, that's an interesting case. I don't know how I would feel about that.
But I just felt like we were intruded upon.
A little, I can understand that.
You don't know what conversations we've had in our house, what sort of religious values we may or may not have, and it's really kind of not your business. And that, to me, is where the evangelism crossed the line. As I said, I definitely feel a void in my life since my faith has lapsed, and I wish it were there. And I for an assortment of reasons, can't get back on that track. But I look back fondly in many ways on the days when I was more religious as a young person.
Well, so would you have preferred that letter be sent to you?
Yeah.
Would have that spoken to you then?
For sure first. And if you have a message of outreach that you want to share with, my kids or whatever, you got to run that by mom and dad first, right? Hey, listen, would love to see you at church, or would love to see you whatever. I'd like to share some thoughts with your kid.
Well,
I might even have been fine with it.
There's a couple of things there. First of all, just the idea of the perception of those who go door to door or those who are giving you a leaflet. Generally, that perception is not good, correct?
Yeah, right.
Are most of us okay, dude, or okay, lady? You're is that generally how that goes? Right or wrong, the perception is more of all right.
I totally agree with that. And in that scenario, I try to be patient with those folks because I generally with people assume good intentions.
Right.
And if, like I said to my daughter, if the worst thing that happens to me today is someone says Jesus loves you, I'm having a good day.
But so that's different. Guy at the beach or whatever, those people that come up to you or put something on your car, generally I that's different than writing something to your kid, I feel like. And I'm not sure why. But that actually, I'm more unsettled by that than I am dude who's just awkward.
Yeah.
Talking to the girls at the beach.
I think there might be more going on there, and it may not be legit religious outreach from that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting that was cool. Or
right.
Leave the girls
that actually
alone.
offends me on behalf of the religious, that, here's someone hiding behind the Bible to do creepy stuff. Not cool, man.
Meanwhile, there's all these other people at the beach that he wasn't putting any attention toward.
Right. Wasn't trying to talk to anybody else about that stuff. So I'm deeply suspicious of that. But the larger question of how do you evangelize without being offensive? How do you, follow your mission, your Christian mission of trying to tell people about that? But where's that line? Right.
Yeah.
I'd no more accept that somebody writing my son a letter about politics. Hey, listen, I hear you might have some conservative thoughts or liberal thoughts or whatever, and I'd really like to tell you about the GOP. That's the way to go, young man, or vice versa. Listen, you need to get off that Trump train and start doing I'd be like, what are you talking about? Send a letter to my kid about this?
Although, I'm sure there's some who have gotten that. I mean, my kid will be of voting age by the next presidential election.
Oh, here we go.
So I assume he's going to start getting stuff here pretty soon.
But good luck changing my kid's mind. My 18-year-old, my soon-to-be 18-year-old, I think she's pretty dead set in her ways. Just thought it was interesting, and I would pass that on because it struck me the wrong way, and I would like for that to not, because I do believe most people who are sharing those things are good intention. And if you deeply believe that the way that someone's soul is saved is through your path, of course you'd want to share that.
Sure.
But there's a way to go about it.
So
and
what's the
not.
best way then? If it's not to knock on your door or creep you at a beach or send a letter to your
that's interesting
your kid's classmate,
just post that awesome sermon on social or share.
No one's going to see that.
Sure they would. And inspire people. I guess inspire people to come follow you don't intrude, I guess would be my measure.
I just think that's harder than you think to do.
It absolutely is, no question. But there's
Especially
so many different
now,
ways.
I mean, look at the numbers, how much they're dwindling. We've seen less and less people go to the church, yourself included. We've heard that across the board on other religions as well.
And I think,
maybe more TikToks.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, if TikTok can influence your kid to do terrible things to him or herself, could it not also introduce your kid to a different line of thinking or a religion or something they haven't thought about? I would hope so. Like, boy, I sure hope the good could at least equally combat the bad.
But again, same kind of deal, though. Wouldn't that be a little off-putting?
I guess, but it's your choice there then to follow that message.
Yeah.
It's your choice. It'd be different than a DM. Like, don't DM my kids, right? But if you're just out there and they're consuming this content and it leads you to an inspiring place, that would be my preference about how you go about your mission. 8:20 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Eastbound 94, we are seeing delays from about 76th Street through the stadium. The westbound side is just tight through the stadium interchange itself. Northbound 41 slowing down from Wisconsin Avenue up past Watertown Plank Road. 43 northbound's going to be a bit backed up right around the North Avenue curve, stretches all the way up to about Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Everything you need to know on your way home.
Milwaukee police investigating a deadly overnight crash that killed 5 people, including 3 teens and a child.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News with John McCure.
I think he behaved completely inappropriately. Should he be charged with terrorism? Absolutely not.
Sandy Max.
It says to serve and protect very often on the side of a police car. She really was serving.
And Greg Metzik.
The doubters will doubt and haters will continue to hate. But I get the feeling none of that will bother Jordan Love.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Now, that's the group of doctors I trusted with my knee surgery when I was in so much pain I couldn't do the stuff I wanted to do in terms of competitive sports. So now this year, no problems. I got golf league, I got 2 tennis leagues, the pickleball, it's all happening.
Yeah.
I got a whole bunch of other crap wrong with me. Not the knee. The knee is solid. And people ask me about it all the time. Like, hey, I heard you talking about your knee. When was that surgery? I'm like, actually, a couple of years ago. Like, never would have known. You're moving around great. You got no issues right there. And it took way too long to go in there and get that fixed. If something is bugging you, at least have the folks over at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin give you a read on it. Go in there, get some imaging done, talk with one of their doctors, and they will lay out for you a series of options. Maybe you don't need surgery right away. They're very good about that, and I was worried about that. I didn't want to walk in and hear a doctor say, when do you want to schedule your surgery? I wanted to know what we were looking at and what your options were, and I had plenty of them. So that's the team of doctors that I trust, and I know they'll do well by you. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. You can make an appointment now at orthowisconsin.com.
It's time to upgrade that old patio furniture with By the Yard maintenance-free outdoor furniture. By the Yard furniture features no painting, no rotting, no splinters, no storage, ever. With over 400 items in 9 UV-stabilized colors, By the Yard is proudly made in the Midwest and backed by a 35-year warranty. Explore By the Yard's outdoor furniture collection at their showroom location in Mayfair Mall, Wauwatosa, or visit bytheyard.net. That's bytheyard.net.
Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. That's Murphy's Law, right? Put an AC guru from Team Austin up against Murphy's Law, and smart money is on us. Eric Smith here from Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air. And when we take your air conditioner apart, and just so you know, we will, our guru has the opportunity to see exactly where the problems are, or could develop in the future. It's not a rag snap in safety inspection and get down the road kind of a deal. Nope, we're coming at Murphy with torches blazing. By the time we're done, your AC isn't just reassembled, it's returned to factory fresh conditions and guaranteed against breakdowns all summer long. A machine that'll save energy dollars, not gobble them up. We're going to leave it a better running, more reliable version of itself. And if we find a cause for concern or future breakdown, let me coin a phrase. If we see something, we'll say something. Team Austin is here to help you win the war against summer heat. So back off, Murphy. Book your AC tune-up now and get a jump on the heat. Go to teamaustin.com.
824 on Wisconsin's Morning News. 855-616-1620 is the Old National Bank talk and text line. Old National Bank, get old. If folks want to just weigh in on the stories that I shared. Again, I said I'm at a difficult point in my personal faith journey and could probably use some more religion in my life. I'm not there yet personally, but I'm deeply respectful of the people who are devout in their faith and want to share that. But there's a wrong way to go about it. And I just had a couple of encounters with my kids lately where honestly, if your goal was to really get the word through to them, 0 for 2 on the chosen paths. One was
and more negative than a positive.
Yeah, right. They had a negative experience with that interaction, and it didn't help the cause one way or another. Right way and a wrong way about going about your evangelism.
What were they again? You had a guy on the beach bugging your daughter who was sunbathing.
Bunch of teenage girls, right, and a middle-aged guy on the beach dropping off leaflets and such, and they're like, don't know about all this, but you're freaking us out.
And then you had a classmate of your daughter send the mom, send
her
your
a personal
daughter
letter.
A specific letter.
Yeah, which was odd. And my point there too is if you want to talk to somebody else's kids, you got to talk to mom and dad.
Yeah,
first,
from the 920 on the Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620. At our church, we are always told you have to go where people are. Religion of any kind is the biggest gift you can give your children.
Let me go to the phones. Bill's on the line with us on the Old National Bank talk and text line. Morning, Bill.
Morning, gentlemen. Yeah, being a person of faith, I would say that those two examples you gave are certainly something that I would never do, and I think it does have a negative effect. But that being said, I always kind of perceive evangelism that different people are reached in different ways no matter what you're talking about. If you're talking about buying a car, somebody might just want, the information on the car and go make a decision on themselves, like a pamphlet. Some people might want to sit there and talk to the salesman for hours. You're in the grocery store. Some people are enticed by a special sale, and some people look at that special sale and say, well, that food's probably about to go out of date. So different people are reached in different ways, and you have to admit those two negative examples that you're talking about have you talking about faith.
Yeah, fair enough.
So there is some effect there.
But that's a great point. I love that thinking. But at the same time, is that like any press is good press? I mean, would you want?
Right.
And I mean, that's with respect,
right.
though. Like, you're right. Talking about faith when his daughter came home, but at the same time, it's because of a guy who creeped her out.
Yeah, that's a hard question to answer. And like I say, I would never do it that way. And I don't think that guy on the beach probably was doing the right thing. But I can't talk for other people.
Right. Appreciate it, Bill. Yeah, and he raises a good point. Like, this is why I try to talk both my kids off the ledge, like in terms of them being offended by or whatever. I'm like, look, nothing wrong with someone telling you, here's the way of the Lord.
Sure.
Right? And maybe you buy into that, maybe you don't, but don't be offended by that in and of itself.
Well, okay, what if it was for a different religion? What if it was for, hey, you should try Judaism?
Right.
Or, hey, Islam, what do you think?
Again, if you're preaching a message of peace, and this is the way that I've found peace, and I see this for you, okay, share that message as long as you're not aggressive in it. I think world could use a little bit more of that, right?
Here's one from the 262. Another issue that this person has with the letter is the unwritten message that your parents are neglecting your religious engagement. So it's kind of a subtle shot on you.
Right. And I'll own that. My wife and I have. Look, I was raised Catholic. My wife was is Lutheran, and our children were baptized Episcopalian, so Church of England.
All right.
Because for both of us, for my wife to fully have participated in Catholic Mass, she would have needed to convert. And in Catholicism, like if you went to church with me as a Lutheran, like you would not be allowed to come up and get the communion because you haven't gone through that sacrament as a Catholic. And so those are the rules of the faith. Fine. On my wife's side, me being raised Catholic, and you'll find this funny, when I would go to Lutheran church with her, like felt like we were playing church.
Hey, come on in.
Everybody's happy. Everybody's joyful. Let's sing verses 1 through 7. I'm like, man, so much singing, you people. Catholic Mass, we do 1 and 7, not 1 through 7. All right? And how come we're not on our knees here begging for some forgiveness? Everybody was happy. It's just like it didn't do it for me. So we kind of met in the middle where there was in Episcopalian faith, there's a little bit more of a kind of traditional Catholic type service. But the churches that we went to were open to people of other faiths, so everyone was welcome at communion, and we really did find a nice home there. I have no objections to it.
Sure.
We just didn't remain committed to it.
See, again, and this this has a religious aspect to it, but I see it more of I don't see it as having to do with Christianity as much as it has to do, or religion at all, or faith as much as it has to do with whether or not these are the best ways to go and promote.
Yeah, right.
And one of them, I would say there was a swing and a miss on the beach for obvious reasons. Guy was kind of making a bunch of teenagers
and may not even have been
uncomfortable.
about that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and he might have just been trying to say hello, and not in a good way. I mean,
I know.
But the other one, the sending the letter. That one, that's personal. That's a deeply personal thing to do, to send a letter to your kid's classmate. I don't know.
8:29 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Couldn't make it to the game?
Here, try this.
If you live in Milwaukee, Racine, Waukesha, Ozaukee, or Washington County, you can stream Bob Uecker and the Brewers on your phone, tablet, or computer.
Struck him out looking.
Using the WTMJ app or at WTMJ.com.
A little different from when you played, Uke. Yeah, those big old payphones we had. Ah, man.
The 2017 tax cuts are set to expire. There's limited time to ensure your financial plan is making the most of our current low-tax environment. At Creative Planning, we'll help you get ahead of coming tax changes with a financial plan and portfolio specifically designed to help you keep more of your hard-earned money. To see how your plan would look, we're offering you a free wealth path analysis. Head to creativeplanning.com/radio to request your free plan. Act fast. This offer is only available till Monday at midnight.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Omaha Steaks. Easy way to make your father happy, omahasteaks.com. Pick out a great gift for your father right now. $30 off when you visit omahasteaks.com and use promo code WTMJ at checkout. There's no shopping, no wrapping, and the steaks are delivered right to your dad's door. I've done this for my son-in-laws. I've done this for my fathers. Easy way to say thanks, Dad, for all the things you do for me. Dads are the heroes we love. You know this. Whether they're fathers, stepfathers, fathers-in-law, father figures, always ready to step up when we need them most. For Father's Day, we're listening to what real dads have to say. $30 off when you visit omahasteaks.com. Use promo code WTMJ at checkout. Some heroes wear capes, others use tool belts, some even wear socks with sandals. No matter how your dad dresses, show him some love this year with the only gift that's as unforgettable as he is. omahasteaks.com. $30 off when you visit omahasteaks.com. Use promo code WTMJ at checkout. Minimum order may be required.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Men, you fought hard for the role that you play in your children's lives. This Father's Day, Cordell & Cordell celebrates you the entire month of June. Join us every Friday for our live webinar series, Father's Fridays. There you will receive much useful information from our panel of speakers. To register, go to CordellCordell.com/Father's Day.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
8:32 on Wisconsin's Morning News. We'll close on this from Scott on the Old National Bank talk and text line. One thing is for certain, never allow the fallible man on earth to knock you from your infallible pillars of faith. And second, you've never lost your faith. You're just on a journey of faith, which takes you on and off the path. You had some other kind words to say. I do appreciate that, Scott.
But what if you're a snake handler? And I mean this seriously. What if you're some obscure religion and you're going from person to person at the beach or sending that letter?
Was the snake with you, or?
Well, I did. But seriously, though, right? Here's one on the Old National Bank talk and text line. Man I knew has religious signs on his house, and he approaches strangers in random places. I think he's creepy. He talked to a friend of mine at the gym. I would have ran the other way. My friend thought it was great, and the meeting brought him back to the church. So to each their own?
Indeed.
And then here's one from the 262. No. If someone wants religion, they will seek it out themselves. Remember the Hare Krishners at the airport. I don't want it.
Yeah, sometimes it can definitely be a turnoff. Either way, as I said to my kids, if somebody says Jesus loves you or something of that nature, there's nothing to be offended about that whatsoever in the manner in which it was intended. Maybe the way it was delivered. And I guess that was my point today. 8:33 from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Here's Eric.
In Milwaukee, police still searching for a suspect believed to have shot and killed a 1-year-old girl. This happened Saturday night near 19th and Atkinson. The toddler shot inside a vehicle by a known suspect during an argument between adults. Her name, Zaire Nevels. The bus rapid transit line now in operation. It's the east-west line on Wisconsin Avenue connecting the regional medical complex in Wauwatosa to the Milwaukee lakefront. It started up on Sunday. There's going to be a ceremony with a bunch of city and county officials that takes place in about an hour and a half from now. And no survivors after a jet crashes in Virginia. This wayward and unresponsive business plane flew over the nation's capital Sunday afternoon. It caused the military to scramble fighter jets before that plane came crashing down. They believe that everyone on board may have been unconscious. Time now for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Taking a look at the numbers for a Monday. Right now, the Dow is down 13, the NASDAQ up 16, and the S&P starting up 5. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Debbie Lasco's got the roads.
Yeah, we're seeing some delays northbound on 43 coming out of the North Avenue area all the way up past Capitol Drive, so it'll add a couple of minutes onto your ride. Northbound on 41, a little bit tight from Wisconsin Avenue up past Watertown Plank, but other than that, it's looking pretty good there. Eastbound 94, a quick tap of the brakes through the Stadium interchange, but it's not even moving the needle too much on the actual travel times. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Weniger Compressor, ready to service any facility at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor carries high-performance, top-of-the-line compressors. Many offer a lifetime warranty and 60-day return policy. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. A mix of sun and clouds today. Slight chance for a shower. Still got that air quality issue with the wildfires. High of 85 inland today. Tonight, slight chance for rain. Again, a slight chance. Cloudy, a low of 60. Tuesday, another chance for rain in the morning. Otherwise, partly sunny tomorrow, a high of 70. Wednesday, sunny, a high of 72. Thursday, sunny, a high of 73. Friday, sunny, and a high of 78 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 65. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:36.
Providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin is more than a statistic. It means offering you more options. It means more hope. And having expertise for every type of cancer is more than a checklist. It's how we're able to create a personalized treatment plan to help conquer your individual cancer. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, people are the driving force behind providing the most advanced, most powerful cancer care available. Our clinical excellence has led to incredible breakthroughs, like using a person's own genes to successfully treat cancer. And by offering an adaptive therapy that combines an MRI scanner with leading-edge technology, we're able to deliver ultra-precise radiation therapy that adapts to your cancer's changes. We push further, learn more, and lead the way. That's how we do everything humanly possible for life without cancer. To find out how dedication fuels breakthrough cancer care, visit froedtert.com/cancer.
And now, time for the Matzik Morning Minute. Take it away, Greg Matzik.
Make it 3 in a row for the Milwaukee Brewers, who earn a 5-1 Sunday afternoon win over the Cincinnati Reds. Adrian Hauser allows just 1 earned run over 7 innings. Brewers manager Craig Counsell.
Good from the start. The sinker was very good today, and you saw him landing his off-speed stuff early. I think there was 10 or 11 ground ball outs. So it was kind of like that was the locked-in Adrian Hauser today. That was fun to watch.
The series wraps up tonight with Game 4, 5:30, the broadcast time of WTMJ. Milwaukee begins today with a half-game lead over Pittsburgh for first place in the NL Central. The NBA Finals are tied at a game apiece between the Heat and Denver Nuggets. Miami scores a 111-108 win over Denver in Denver on Sunday night. Jamal Murray missed a 3 at the buzzer that would have tied the game and sent it to overtime. Nikola Jokic scores 41 in a loss. The series moves to Miami for Games 3 and 4. And Block 3 of organized team activities begins today for the Packers. 100 days from today, the Packers begin the regular season against the Chicago Bears.
Matzik Morning Minute, sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. It's worth the trip.
Greg Mansick here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, your destination to gear up for summer travel, score enticing offers, and get more for your trade on a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC, or GM certified pre-owned model. I'm confident you'll enjoy their simplified buying approach and award-winning guest care. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over Wisconsin, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Automotive, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Are you ready to amp up your life and rock a new career? Potawatomi Casino Hotel is holding a hiring jam session for the new Rock and Brews restaurant. Come meet your future team members in the Tailgate House at American Family Field on June 12th, 14th, and 15th. Here's the hook. There are on-the-spot job offers.
Excellent!
Choose from a variety of restaurant positions. It's time to rock and roll and build your new future. Apply today at careers.paysbig.com.
A couple of things I want to get to quickly here on the national and international stage. First, this story about the F-16s who had to intercept a private jet, or I guess what you'd call a corporate jet that ultimately was doomed. I was going to play that sound I had of the sonic booms, but it didn't come through real well, so I won't bother. But the D.C. area was shaken Sunday afternoon by a couple of sonic booms as F-16 fighter jets were scrambled to intercept a private plane that was off course and sort of wandering into that D.C. airspace where they couldn't raise the pilot, and there began to get concern about, is this a 9/11 type thing, right? So they scramble these F-16 fighters, and a sonic boom happens when any aircraft, or I guess anything, reaches supersonic speed. So the speed of sound, and once it crosses that barrier, you hear a thump, and it's a deep thud. And I don't think I've ever heard one. You?
No.
Right? You've never been? I suppose if you're at a rocket launch or something like that.
Could be something like that. Or even upon landing, shuttle landing?
Yes, shuttle will come back inside and go now slower than the speed of sound. And then you'll hear that sonic boom again. You don't hear it at an air show, and this is why it's significant. If you've gone to the Air and Water Show downtown here on the lakefront, or up at EAA, you're not going to hear that because they're flat not allowed to do it unless they have to. Not allowed to be traveling faster than the speed of sound unless you are cleared to do so, and that would be a very specific type of military training or in an emergency situation. You flew with the Thunderbirds, I flew with the Blue Angels. Yeah. As soon as we got up there, I'm like, hey, man, let's go, Mach 1. Let's go. I want to go faster than the speed of sound. Yeah. He's like, sorry, pal, we'll go right up to the edge. Like Mach 0.97. And your guy, too. Like,
yep, didn't do it.
Can't do it, even out over Lake Michigan. So all of a sudden you hear these sonic booms over the D.C. metro, and people were freaked out about it. And it was these fighter jets that had been scrambled to intercept what is, I guess, probably the best way to describe it would be a corporate jet. It's a twin-engine, real fancy Cessna that has a number of different seats, and it's used, for company executives, people like that, or a company like Wheels Up that provides that sort of Cadillac service to a small number of people. Let me get you an update on that from ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
The sound was caused by two D.C. Air National Guard F-16s that were scrambled from Maryland after a Cessna business jet entered restricted airspace over the nation's capital. Around 3 p.m., those F-16s going supersonic to catch up with the Cessna, creating a sonic boom heard in D.C. and surrounding areas. The Capitol and White House were both briefly placed on high alert.
Yeah, just because the jet was supposed to be on its way, as he said, to New York, and then all of a sudden did like a U-turn and was on its way back toward Washington, and that freaked people out.
I mean, it was a dramatic U-turn. It was 180.
Yep. We're going this way, and now we're going that way.
So if you were to go unconscious, maybe you fall on the steering wheel or
Could
something.
Be. And that seems to be the operating idea right here. If this sounds similar to you, many years ago, the professional golfer Payne Stewart was killed in a crash much like this on a private jet where the pilot couldn't be raised, couldn't communicate with the pilot, and was intercepted by fighter jets. And what they discovered was it was a hypoxic situation. So when you fly commercial, you're in a big plane. Now, if you're just on one of these small Cessnas that people tool around in, that's not a pressurized cabin. But your cabin on a commercial jetliner is pressurized because when you go so high up in the air, you need that.
Yep.
And if that fails, it can cause hypoxia. And they think that's what happened here. So basically, you lose consciousness. You're out. And you cannot regain consciousness because of the depletion of oxygen. Now, eventually, you can die from that, and perhaps the folks who were on board this jet may already have passed.
Yep.
Tragically, it's 4 people. The man who runs the Florida-based company that owns the jet told the Washington Post his daughter, 2-year-old granddaughter, and her nanny, as well as the pilot, were on the flight. So they were intercepted by those F-16s. And one other thing I wanted to mention, Eric, too, was you have a couple of Air National Guardsmen or women who are scrambled. You get in the F-16, and you know what your mission is, to intercept this private plane. And there's virtually no way this ends well. And I just put myself in those pilot's shoes of what that must have been like. I mean, okay, you've got a jet that's off course that maybe has nefarious actions in mind, and you may have to intercept a civilian aircraft and do something terrible. Or it's this situation.
And you're going to watch it go down. And either way, that's terrible. Not a great day for those Air National Guard pilots. But that's where we're leaving the story right now, 4 dead, including that 2-year-old little girl. The other thing that caught my eye this morning is we got another one of these close encounters with the Chinese military. Right. What if it was if it wasn't domestic? The U.S. military now out with some video of what it calls an unsafe Chinese maneuver in the Taiwan Strait over the weekend. A Chinese vessel cut sharply across the path of an American destroyer. So the boat we've seen the video of it. It's close. I mean, it cuts right in front of him, forcing the U.S. vessel to slow down to avoid a collision. It occurred Saturday. The Defense Secretary, Lloyd Austin, was in Singapore at the time, along with the Chinese defense minister. Now, the U.S. had asked for a formal meeting. The Chinese refused. The U.S. has voiced concerns that these incidents raise the risk of a possible accident and escalation between the two countries. The Chinese are basically saying, look, you shouldn't even be in these waters anyway. Mind your own business. You're the reason why there's any provocation at all. ABC's Ian Pinnell.
U.S. Defense Secretary Austin saying that we don't seek any conflict or confrontation, but nor do we flinch or move away from bullying. The Chinese, however, telling the U.S. to mind its own business, warning any severe confrontation between the U.S. and China would be a, quote, unbearable disaster for the world.
That's the part, is like what all it takes is a little bit of human error, right?
Yeah.
And you got 2 boats colliding with each other.
They talked about that at the near miss of the aircraft there as well. You know, like, okay, maybe you're just going up there to harass and tease and see what comes of it. But, right, somebody makes a mistake that close range, and now you have a true international incident.
That situation with the aircraft, that was from last week, and you may recall in that case, like the American plane ended up going through a jet wash, right? Yeah. Like, so you could see the pilot cockpit area shaking after that Chinese plane flew in front of it.
I just don't get China's play here. We've talked about this. Like, how could they view, being provocative is one thing, but what if this does escalate, and how could China view that as a positive for them? I know, like, don't text. I know they're poking at us. I know they're testing us. But, like, to what end, if we end up in a military conflict with China, does that help China?
Right.
Long term.
I mean, money-wise, how is that helping?
Right. Who's going to buy all your stuff? Like, we're the primary market for all your stuff, and we've worked, especially under the previous administration, to try to have less of that reliance on Chinese goods, but we're certainly far from that.
Well, and that's what's interesting about this, is that this comes at a time when the White House has been trying to thaw relations. The White House has been reaching out saying, like, hey, we know it's been frosty for a bit here. I'd like to figure out a way that we can start kind of communicating and working together on some things, and then for this to happen.
When the secretary's there, right? Secretary Austin is there. Imagine when he hears about that. They're at lunch with his guy, having, doing their handshakes and their pictures, and they're like, yeah, Mr. Secretary, you should probably know about that. Hey, what the hell, man?
I just bought the first round.
That's right.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. 847, Wisconsin's Morning News.
If you're feeling vibrations in your steering wheel after reaching speeds of over 50 miles per hour, you should bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
If your brakes are making weird noises or feel strange every time you apply them, you should bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
If your engine light is on, you should bring it to Richlands.
And let us fix it for you, because there isn't an auto service repair job on the planet that our service techs can't fix.
Courtney's right. Just check out some of our Google reviews. A whole lot of stars means a whole lot of happy customers.
Proof's in the pudding. So whether you need factory scheduled maintenance
or tires, brakes, and suspension service, we've got your back.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved,
and all staffed by ASE certified technicians. I'm Brett Matschke, And the next time you're due for service,
Bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Vince Vitrano here for Sister Bay Furniture, premium high-quality outdoor furniture built in Wisconsin and built for Wisconsin. You know what a good problem to have is, Eric? I'm out there on the patio doing a lot of work in the yard. I told you I complained about it because I'm a little bit sore.
Mm-hmm.
The good problem to have is actually which direction do we want our beautiful new Sister Bay chairs to face with our little table in between? Because we had them looking this way, and then my wife said, kind of like the way you got them right over here.
Ooh.
Yeah, real nice.
They look nice any place on the patio?
Absolutely a feature piece of our patio right now. And as I said, these are built from sustainable materials. Sister Bay designs and builds that patio furniture to survive years of Wisconsin weather. Commercial grade quality for your outdoor space, super comfortable, but you give up nothing in terms of fashion. You have different styles to choose from, multiple different colors to fit your unique outdoor space, and the professionals on hand to help you choose it out. Go out and visit them. They're on Executive Drive in Sussex. That's where the showroom is, and they make the stuff right next door. Or you can visit the website to shop ahead. That's sisterbayfurniture.com. Sister Bay Furniture, built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
A wiser way to build your wealth. A wiser way to build your wealth starts with choosing a financial planning firm that is fee only, because it means they work for you. Fee-only firms like Financial Strategies, Inc. don't work for a bank or brokerage firm or an insurance company or mutual fund company, because we don't want our decisions for your best interests compromised in any way. We work for you, and only in your best interest. And fee-only means the success we care about most is yours. Ask your advisor, are you 100% fee-only for 100% of your clients 100% of the time? If they answer no, get a second opinion. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm. And I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
We're moving along pretty well. We did have a little bit of a backup southbound on 94 right around Drexel. There was a little bit of an issue with roadkill. Squad got out there, was able to clear it up. It was in the right lane, but if there's any residual delays, that's maybe what happened. Northbound on 43, though, is going to be a bit slow, basically from Burleigh. Actually, make that around Locust all the way up past Capitol Drive to Hampton Avenue. Then it opens right up. North and southbound on 41 looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
.851 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Bus Rapid Transit. It is operational.
I'm charging my phone right now. Oh, it's a charging station in here. Yeah, under all the seats. Yeah. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's WTMJ's Jason Smith, whom we sent out on assignment. Actually, that's exactly how it worked, Eric. I'm like, dude, BRT launches this weekend. You need to get on that bus. He's like, I can do that.
Absolutely.
So he was out there for the Bus Rapid Transit, which is kind of a soft launch because they've got a big to-do today. The Magic Bus has now been launched. The big to-do is at 10 o'clock this morning. Yep. Federal, state, local officials all on hand to cut the ribbon.
So soft launch yesterday, officially going today.
And so we had Jason in the studio this morning, asked him about the bus. He said, it's a really nice bus. That's what he said. He said the bus was nice.
Yeah.
So no
spacious. He said it was quiet.
Yes.
Or more quiet when you use the battery-powered one.
Yes. Now, why do I keep making fun of it? What's your problem with the Magic Bus? Which I would be entirely happy if it does succeed. If it's a raging success, I'm rooting for that. My issue as a skeptic has always been, number one, you took out lanes from an already busy corridor. Wisconsin Avenue, Blue Mound Road now have bus-only lanes that will largely be empty, but for those few moments when the bus goes flying on through.
Jason did say he saw some cars driving in the bus lane yesterday.
People are still going to be figuring that out, right? You've got a startup cost of $55 million without really a whole lot of idea how we're going to pay for it. MCTS is facing serious issues into 2025 where they may be looking at having to make cuts that affect some 50% of its routes, and we're adding a new bus at great cost to run. So that's another issue I have with it. But mostly it's about the outlandish promises that officials have made, that thousands and thousands and thousands of people are going to be so enamored of the bus that they'll give up their cars and start riding the bus. I don't see that happening. I hope it does. Why do you always look at me like that? Do you think it's going to happen like that?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm trying to be optimistic that this is and I also do firmly believe that less and less people want to drive. I do think there is the younger generation is interested in moving around in different ways. Is it going to work? I have no idea. I do not know.
I'll give you that a little bit. I just,
especially because they got the charging station.
Especially because of that. So 10 o'clock launch today, and I hope you like it because they're already planning one for 27th Street, whether it works or not.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson.